And here we are live. Hello everybody and welcome to the stream. I am Rancid Nanners, otherwise known as Rancid, otherwise known as Nate, and video games. Actually, music. Video music? Yeah, video music this time. We're doing some video music rankings. And then we're gonna play some Dark Souls. So it is still video games, a little bit of video games, you know. We do a little bit of gaming around these parts. And I also always have to fiddle with my aux cable. Hang on a second. I almost completely forgot to even pull out my headphones, if I'm being frank. But I'm not being frank, my name's Nate. So funny thing about the music ranking part of all this tonight. Some people may know, if they're like really big music heads, they're like always updating like their top albums. Popular aggregate site Topsters, which is like what I used before to like make my previous list. I do still have one of them. I don't know what happened to the first one I made. I was hoping to have both for kind of like dual reference, you know. But Topsters is no more as of like a week ago, 2 weeks tops. I think April 24th is when it went down. So just over a week ago, which man, like I thought about doing this like a while ago, and I just never really got around to it. Like I wanted to do a rank in my albums thing, because like I have opinions on anything, just anything of interest. I form opinions about it, you know. That's why I feel like a lot of the tier list stuff I do, like I can get opinionated about cereal mascots, you know, like stupid shit like that. Much less like media and art and things that have a little more substance to them, I suppose. But anyway, so I've been wanting to do this for a while, where I rank all my favorite albums. There's a lot of music I like. I have an odd but somewhat diverse taste in music, I would say. But yeah, so like I wanted to do this a while ago, and I wish I did, I guess. Like I'm kind of in two minds of it, because say I did do it earlier, you know, I'm not like the most influential person on the internet, but I feel like maybe like one friend of mine, someone who like maybe personally knows me, like they'd see me doing that and be like, oh, you know, maybe I want to do my own thing. If it was like 2 streams ago or sooner, I mean, I wanted to do it at like, I want to say like the start of this year, but I just never got around to it because I wanted to just do a lot more just playing video games. I had to take breaks here and there, the standing stream stuff, which I will be doing Dark Souls while standing. Just kind of like reversing the order for this stream, I guess, where I do some sitting first and then I do the standing. Just because I think it might be a little easier on my posterior that way. But anyway, we're not talking about my ass. We're talking about music today. And I want to just get this tangent about Topsters out of the way before I get on with it. So yeah, if I had done this like a couple weeks ago, a couple streams ago, start of April, start of fucking March, whatever, people might be like, oh, I'm gonna go to Topsters. And then they'll try to go to Topsters, and they will be met with some sort of post about satanic music and music allowing like Satan into you. It feels like fucking like 1980s satanic panic shit. It's very bizarre. It feels like a shit post, but one way or another, the person who ran the Topsters web zone, little is known about them, but what was known about them was that they were a controversial figure in some ways. You know, the Egghead Anthony Fantano's made some posts about it, because like people in the music community, they know this website. Like, I found out about Topsters through seeing other friends of mine that are just like big music heads, seeing them posting their lists. I'm like, oh, I want to do that. That seems fun, you know. So yeah, that old original site is no more for the strangest of reasons. And like, honestly, the like going off the deep end, weird religious panic nonsense part of it is like, that's like the least strange part to me. It's the fact that this happened like a week and a half ago. That's just like, where did this come from? Like, why? Fucking, I don't understand. I don't think I'll be able to understand. But what really matters is that we do at least have a backup of some sort. There's just like this news site that literally, it has to be born from this whole debacle. Let's go over to my zone here. So we got Topsters 3, Topsters.org, unaffiliated, unrelated to the previous Topsters. Whoever's running this just wants to have an aggregate site of some sort. The format is very similar. Like, it definitely feels like directly inspired by this. I also forgot to close Discord. Let me close Discord. Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, yo! Here comes Deebs with the raid. Thank you so much, D-Bits. You said you'd do it, and here you are. You're doing it. Great timing. We're just getting into it for real now. Oh, yo, Sheeps! Thank you for the follow. You are a fresh skeleton. We're skeletons around these parts. Hello, you are so sleepy. Well, you just did a stream, D-Bits, so if you gotta go and chill. Precarize, thank you for the follow as well. Thank you so much. You got eyes in your name, so you gotta be granting me eyes. But yeah, thank you for the follow, you too. Greatly appreciated. I just got done with my spiel talking about the original Topster site going under. Hell yeah, skeletons? Dude, if you like skeletons, you're definitely in the right place. You'll stick for a little bit? Cool, thank you, D-Bits. Greatly appreciate it. And thank you again, in general, for the raid. It's always very hype when people do that. So, hello everybody. Most of you guys probably know who I am. I'm Rancid Nanners, otherwise known as Rancid, otherwise known as Nate. I like the Souls games, I like music, I like old school shooters, I like fighting games. I like all kinds of shit, man. So, we're talking about some shit I like today. We're talking about music albums. Let me pull up my old image. So this is the last one I made. I still feel like, in some places, it kind of suffers from, like, music head clout syndrome. Like, you know, we got, like, Talking Heads way up here. We got Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly over here. Like, fantastic albums. I do really like these albums. But I really want this next one to be, like, the most genuine that I've made. I'm probably going to top it to, like, 2 albums of the same artist. Just because, like, I know on this one, I got a little loose with that. I don't want it to be, like, super cluttered with tons of King Gizzard or, like, you know. Like, I got 2 Talking Heads albums on here, but I think it's mostly just, like, I think I actually like Speaking in Tongues more. Just, like, per song. Yo, Blood Mountain? Yes! Also, welcome Patrick Galactic. I know part of the reason I think why I decided to like you back in, like, the old LGS days, Patrick, was because I had my Mastodon shirt on, and I might have even seen you wearing a Mastodon shirt. Just anytime I meet someone else that likes Mastodon a lot, I'm just like, yo, we're cool. You love Lungs? Okay, well, I'm happy to hear a lot of people are digging a lot of the music taste on display here. True. Yeah. I mean, fucking your Zendikar campaign was called Hand of Stone, and I was like, I get that reference. So, I mean, I totally do the same thing with a lot of my D&D campaigns. Like, a lot of my, like, mostly the one-offs are like, all music references. And a lot of music inspires a lot of D&D for me. It's like music and Dark Souls. Those are, like, the fundamental components. But yeah, so this is kind of what we're going to be working off of here. A lot of this is going to make the cut. It's going to be in different areas. OMG Piglet, Nanners knows what's up. Oh, dude, Piglet fucking rules. And I'm pretty sure they're from Chicago, if I remember correctly. So they're like local. So of course I know about Piglet. Fucking love Piglet, dude. I wish they did. I think they did one other EP like in 2012, 2013, somewhere around there. It was when I was working my first job. I know that much. They did come out with a second EP. It's fine. Lava Land, though, like, is just 30 minutes of math rock bliss. So it's hard to top. Kind of look like some other... Oh, I almost thought that said some other Australian. I kind of look like some Australian streamer, you know? Dude, that's crazy. I mean, if you're talking about kicks, we do have similar hair. Mine's just in a braid. And like we've talked before, he and I, about like the similar styles of like the beanie with like the big hair and our hair being too powerful for many hats. You know, I feel like somewhere within my soul is an Australian. And that's part of why I like King Gizzard so much. Yeah, I'm a little bit like Kix from Chicago with glasses. We're similar creatures for sure. Yeah, dude, absolutely. I feel it. The kindred spirits just from like the other end of the planet. Anyway, let's get into it though. Chicago Kix. Yeah, dude. I'm Chicago Kix. It's gonna be like my new name on something. All right, so some of like the top ones are probably not going to be changing. So let's get, I'm gonna be like throwing a lot of guys on here. Blood Mountain, give me. That's probably going to be there. Polygon's going to be up. Modest Mouse, give me We Were Dead Before the Ship Even Sank. That's a huge one. I'm going to be talking more about the albums probably when I'm like, when it's time to like rank them, you know, like when we're actually like trying to figure out like the places where the chips fall. I think that's when I'm gonna be like kind of going into these a little more. Like right now I'm getting like, okay, like the for sure picks. Like I know these are gonna be on the list. Like they can't be left out. Probably Bedlam and Goliath. Give me that. Because like I can also tell like it's not like recency bias, but it's like I've been like listening to this album, so it's like in my head kind of bias. There's a little bit of that on like this previous list of mine. Like I know D-Louse is on here just because I started listening to Mars Volta actively for a bit of a period of time. So like it happens. And like also like the King Gizzard albums, 2 of them being on here. Oh yeah, Polygon Dwandaland and Nonagon Infinity. A lot of Gons here. Yo, Gon Tekken 8 also. Just shouts out to Gon. We need to get Gon in Tekken 8, but that can be a campaign for another day. Yeah, fucking Blood Red Shoes probably should be on here. That's like an all-timer. Fortress, I'm surprised I put so low on this one. Because, like, I know I was like... How do I put it? Like, I was like pushing Fortress for a while because I knew people that liked like a lot of this kind of music. And it was like kind of like metalcore adjacent stuff. And I'm not like super into a lot of metalcore proper, but like the prog and kind of mathy elements of Protest the Hero, like they pull me in. Irregular time signatures, man, like they do something to me. They do something. So like I got to put that one on the list, and it's probably going to be a lot higher. I don't think it deserves like a top 9. Like I was saying, like when I felt like I was pushing the album for a while. It's not my album. That's not what I mean by that. But like to kind of like you know, like you ever meet somebody who doesn't have like very similar music tastes, but like you kind of want to have like something that you can kind of agree on. It's kind of like that. Like I knew a lot of people that was into like I said, like the metalcore and shit like that. I couldn't really get into it, but I'm like, yo, we can kind of both agree that this album's pretty sick. Okay, D-Bits, you're heading to sleeps now. Good night, Deebs. Thank you again for the raid. Greatly appreciate it. You get some rest. And, you know, all my Dark Souls playing later is somewhat in your honor. So remember that. But yeah, good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the skeletons bite. You know what it is. Yeah, thank you again, Deebs. But yeah, Ziltoid, another one. I haven't been really listening to Devin Townsend that much lately. Like, I feel like as soon as I discovered King Gizzard, I almost didn't have room for Devin Townsend anymore. Because he's also very prolific. Not quite to the level of King Gizzard, but like, he makes a lot of music. He's had a lot of other projects. He's done a lot, you know. Yeah, people just saying good night to D-Bits. I like shortening D-Bits' name to Deebs. I don't know if they like that or not. I hope they do. I think it's funny. It's like almost affectionate, you know? Like whenever I like can think of a good shortening of someone's name, it's like, you know, we're pals here a little bit. You know, like I'm trying to be like, yeah, I can vibe with you. Like if I shorten your name, if I think of like a nickname for you, I think that's pretty normal. You know, like people do that, right? It's not just because like their name is too long or anything like that, but it's just like I think what it is, if I feel like I'm gonna be saying their name a lot, is when I want to shorten it. And if I feel like I'm going to say your name a lot, that means that I think you're cool. Kick Six. I mean, I just call him Kicks. But, I mean, that's like a good example there, too. I want to call Patrick Galactic. I think it was like, we went over it a long time ago. Like, I wanted to call him Pat, but he's just like, that's not my name. My name's Patrick. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess you're Patrick then. But, you know, that was established. And that's the thing, is like, if I have a short name for someone, and I'm like, I want to call you this, some people might not like it. Like, a lot of people think that I wouldn't like it to have my online handle Rancid Nanners, rather, shortened to Rancid. But I'm like, no, Rancid's the best part of my name. I love that word. True. Yeah. You know, it's nothing personnel or anything. I just, you know, some people are like, nah, my name is my name. Like, they might like their full name. Like, they might like that it is 2 syllables. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really particularly care for... Like, whenever somebody calls me Nathan, I'm just like, the fuck? Is my mom here? Am I in trouble? Like I associate my like full first name being uttered as like a threat. Like, I'm in trouble. Like, oh fuck. It's but like also like I go to the doctor's office or something, they'll call me in as Nathan. It's like, okay, this is official business. And when it's like I can accept it there, but still it's like, if you're gonna use my name, just call me Nate, you know? Preekster. Preekerize the Preekster. Get preeked on. I think I don't know if I'd call Preeker like Preeks or just like Preek or just Eyes. I don't know. If I call you Eyes, I think that would mean that I think you're cool. So you're on watch. I'm watching you. I'm preeking everywhere. Dude, I can't stop preeking. Jesus, that sounds unappropriate. All right, I'm consulting my master list again here, because I think another thing that threw off my like previous attempts. Oh, we gotta get Lava Land on here. Gotta get Lava Land on here. Not that fucking Lava Land. Are you kidding me? Bruh. Super Mario 64 Lethal Lava Land original. No. we want Pig Bliss Lava Land. It's not a fucking album, dude. What the hell? L1011's Every Direction is North. That's a Chill Jams. We gotta get that on there. Lungs. Florence of the Machine. Gotta get that one on there. Death from Above. I would say so. Because, like, a lot of, like, the judging factors here are kind of, like, listenability. Like, that's why I feel like, for Mars Volta, like, D-Louse isn't going to make it on this list. Because it's an amazing album. It's a very good album. Very, atmospheric. I feel like it really pulls you in for a journey, but it's also a really upsetting journey. You know what I mean? And like so is Downward Spiral, but where I feel Downward Spiral makes it. Oops, I just pulled it off the list. Where I feel Downward Spiral makes it where Mars Volta's D-Louse does not is it still has more individually listenable tracks where I feel D-Louse, like, I can't remember the name of the fucking songs, but the intro track is fucking stellar. Not like the intro. I guess the real first track. I have to fucking open my goddamn music guy here. Open music, run as admin, because you freak out when I don't. I mean, this will also be like a useful resource. I was looking at churches because somebody on Kix's stream recommended them, and I was just like, what's like a good song I could recommend by them? I don't know if I'd put either. Oh, they have like 3 albums at this point. I don't know if I would put them on my top. Crystal Castles, though. Does Crystal Castles 2 make it? I don't know. That's a tough one. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked. I was gonna go look at goddamn Mars Volta. Where's the M here? The Mars Volta for D-Loused. Inertiatic ESP. That was the song I was thinking of. Because there's like the intro track, and then Inertiatic ESP. I think it was like kind of a hit of theirs. It's hard to have a hit off of an album like this. That's a thing, though. And then I think Drunk Ship of Lanterns and Roulette Dares also had like a little bit of like, you know, Time in the Sun. They're like kind of the more listenable tracks on their own. But like a lot of it just kind of connects together, builds atmosphere in a way that I don't really like to listen to the songs outside of listening to the whole album. And a lot of Mars Volta is kind of like that. They really try to build an album as an album, and I typically do appreciate that. You'll probably see that kind of come up more or less in a lot of like what kind of makes it for like a top pick for me, of just like I want to listen to this album. Like that's why The Hazards of Love is like, this is number 1. I'm not even gonna like fuck around. Like, The Hazards of Love by the Decemberists, my favorite album, one of the best albums that is just, I mean, it's basically like a fucking like rock opera type, like it's almost a musical. Like there's no narration really. It's all sung, but it's basically a musical. It's got lore. Some deep lore if you really like dig into the lyrics of like what's going on in it even. It's inspired other D&D things for me. It's inspired people's like magic like fan walkers, as they would be called, you know, some original of the characters. Like I showed this album to like one of my internet friends from a while ago, and they were inspired and like, I'm gonna make a changeling based off of the protagonist of this album. And I, like, that was like the most flattering response that I had ever gotten from like recommending this album to somebody, where like they just immediately latched on, was like, yeah, I love this actually. But I am generally a big fan of the Decemberists as well. I love all their music. Well, It's kind of waned over the years. Like mostly their later stuff. Past King is Dead, definitely it's like they're dipping in quality, but everything else is just amazing folk rock music. I strongly recommend the Decemberists to a lot of people. Like if you like folky stuff at all, listen to the Decemberists. They still have a couple albums that I would like recommend to anybody though. Probably mostly the Crane Wife and Picaresque are like, those are the two where I'm like, yeah, anybody who likes music should give these a listen. But like if you're really into like the folky Baroque rock, like their vibes, then you gotta listen to the Hazards of Love. One of the few albums that like that brings a tear to my eye. Like I choke up at the final track at this like all the time, but a lot of it is emotional build up. Like I'm sure you could find a dozen, 100 more like heart-wrenching tracks than that song, but it's really it being a climax to the album that's just like, oh, it just hits. It hits in a way that like I'm not like a big romance type person as far as like a narrative is concerned, but something about this album, I don't know, man, it just does it for me. Mastodon's Blood Mountain though, is this number 2? Fucking probably. And this is where we're gonna probably start moving them around a little bit. But number 2 spot for Blood Mountain, I think definitely. Now, kind of on like, not like the opposite end, because Blood Mountain also, it tells somewhat of a story. It's a bit looser than their next album, Crack the Sky, is, but it still is to depict a journey of this man going through Blood Mountain, as it were. Kind of starting at like the foothills in like a forest, making their way up the mountain, encountering strange creatures and strange things along the way. It also kind of has lore. Oh my god, has this album inspired so much of my D&D stuff. Mastodon in general, a lot of their shit is just like very inspiring in its like the fantasies that it depicts, I guess. Like because of like all the strange creatures, like I'll think about like a Sasquatch, man. I'll think about the hunters in the sky, like they're probably just dragons, but like the hollow bones, leather wings lines, like the vocals of Mastodon aren't important. Like they're fine. I typically like I've in this roundabout way I've described Mastodon as kind of mixing up where like instrumentals would typically be placed, you know? Like I say the drums are like the lead like a guitar. And like the vocals are the guitar. No, the vocals are the drums. The drums are the guitars and the guitars are the vocals for Mastodon. That's what I would say. And because of that, I'm a drummer at heart. Like I play guitar, I got my guitars here. I can't have a drum set in an apartment complex, so my drums are now with my parents, actually. I think I talked about that a little bit last week. I had to like go to the storage unit. They took my drums back to their place. I took all of my shit, all my fucking junk that was in there. And like I also took my sister's junk back to her place last Tuesday. I can talk about that later. We're talking about music. Anyway, point is, I'm a drummer at heart, so when The Wolf is Loose opens with that blistering fucking drum solo intro, like, that was one of the first songs. Like, I heard, like, a couple songs off Leviathan. That's how I found out about Mastodon. But when I, like, got their discography at the time and was like, I'm gonna sit down and listen to Mastodon, that was, like, the first one that I listened to, like, by choice, I guess. Like, just Blood Mountain, be top of the list, alphabetical, you know. But, man, what a fucking, like, first impression. Like, that track just, like, pulled me in. I love music that has high energy. Not all music has to. I have fucking Nine Inch Nails on here. I have fucking, I mean, Florence and the Machine, you know, ebbs and flows. But, like, L1011, chill jams. Anyway, But like if we're talking metal and punk, rock, anything in that vein, like the energy, just raw, hard energy that Mastodon puts forward in Blood Mountain, just earth. You know, you think like fire or water or even air, like if we're talking elements for like their first 4 albums, you think those would kind of pull me more. Something about just earth being represented by just like such hard fucking percussion, you know. And Brand is a great drummer. You know, any of Mastodon's albums, there's going to be some good ass drums on it, and that's a lot of why I like the band as much as I do. Again, drummer at heart. But I feel like that really comes forward in the Earth Element album of Blood Mountain. I strongly recommend their first 4 to anybody who likes metal. The Hunter's pretty good too, but after that, they kind of, again, they're a band that like had an amazing start, and then kind of, once they peaked, they peaked. You know what I mean? Like, the Decemberists definitely peaked with Hazards of Love, and then the album that followed was like pretty good, you know, and then everything after that just was like not even close. I still like God, what is it, fucking the album that came out after King is Dead for the Decemberists. I need to look at my music. Where is the December Men? What a Terrible World, What a Beautiful World. Yeah, that came out in 2014. It's pretty good. It has some really good songs on it. That's the thing. It has some really good songs. Like, honestly, I might fucking put, if I can spell it correctly. Oh my god, I spelled it correctly. Because it's not picturesque, it's picaresque, which I think is just a more French version of the same word. If I'm allowing 2 albums from one band on here, honestly, I feel like I should probably put Picaresque on here, just because of, like, it is just kind of a collection of good songs, but its pacing's really good. The, like, kind of, the climax track of the album, the Mariner's Revenge song, is incredible. Like, what a fucking 10-minute song that does not feel like it. Even though there's, like, a lot of different movements, a lot of different parts of the song that are different, held together by a refrain of the protagonist's fucking ghost mom telling him to find the culprit and bind him and beat the shit out of him. Pretty cool. I really like when the Decemberists brings in some vengeful spirits into the mix, which there's a little bit of that in Hazards of Love. Let me tell you what. You want to hear about some ghost kids killing their dad? Pretty epic. I'm not sure where I want to place this one. I'll kind of put it down here for now, of like, you know, these are really good albums that like I don't want to like forget about, you know what I mean? But like everything up here is the like, yo, these are the all-timers. You know, Toxicity, should probably move that up. I listen to System of a Down like all the fucking time. They're great. Like, you'd think that nu metal, no matter how good it was, like, nu metal's not going to stand the test of time. Something about System of a Down, man. I think between their quirkiness, like, they're weird. They weren't trying to be cool, really. Like, a lot of nu metal bands were, like, trying to be, like, really cool or edgy or tough. I think it's, like, the lack of, like, macho vibes for System of a Down. Like, they're too fucking weird, you know? I think that's what saves them. Where, like, a lot of other nu metal just kind of did not. Like, who the fuck listens to Korn anymore, man? I'm sure there's people out there that have, that are fans of them to this day. But, like, Korn is weird in a different way. And a lot of just, like, too many songs about fucking... I mean, System of a Down has Pogo, which, as Serge has said, is a song about the joys of an orgy. Like, that is what Pogo is about. That's it. But, like, they don't need to have a song that's, like, so explicitly all day I dream about fucking. Like, Come on, Korn. And I know that about Korn because I did listen to them when I was in middle school. And, like, I think early high school, they still kind of made it into that realm. But we're not talking about Korn. We're talking about good music here. Alright. So, what are we forgetting? Did I accidentally pull Skeleton off of here? Fuck. Got it. Oh, wait, no, it's up there. It's there. It's in third. Skeleton. Like, some of these kind of, like, nostalgic picks. Like, there's definitely an element of nostalgia for these. Like, these are late high school, late teens, becoming adults era. So, like, they're really gonna stick with me. System of Down, like, they kind of just always been there, you know. Which also reminds me of, as far as things that have always been there. I think we gotta put some, we gotta put Metallica on the board here. Gotta go because time to pick the spicy brain medicine. Oh, pick up the spicy brain medicine. Well, thank you for hanging out, Kix. Good to have you here. Good to see you. Hope you come back after you get your meds. And, you know, because I'm going to be at this for a little while, I think. We're like a third of the way there, and then we got to actually rank everything. So, you know, we got a bit of time. But yeah, so with the metal music, things that have always been there, Metallica, all right? It's Metallica, classic Metallica. Anybody who listens to any amount of metal, any amount of rock music, you'll pop in if I'm still live later. Awesome, thank you, Kix. Good luck getting your meds. Hope your meds help your heads, all that. Keep it skeletal and whatnot. You know it is. Toot toot, see you, gang. Thank you. But yeah, so Metallica, for a long time, I want to say throughout most of middle school, it was probably like 8th grade when I started like actually giving Metallica like a for real chance, because I mostly knew, like, you know, being from the 90s. I'm barely a 90s kid. I was born in 94. But being from the 90s, I heard Enter Sandman a lot. I heard a lot of Black Album tracks, which Black Album's pretty good. Don't get me wrong. But, like, Enter Sandman was, like, super overplayed. And a lot of what would follow Black Album from Metallica, like Load, Reload, Saint Anger, like, not a good look, man. So I thought that Metallica just kind of, like, sucked for a long time. But then I heard, like, Master of Puppets and Ride the Lightning and stuff from Kill 'Em All. I'm like, oh no, these guys just kind of shred. And, like, when I started, like, really getting in and seeking out more metal, I'm like, I'm pretty sure my dad has a bunch of these albums. And I went out to the garage and I was like, yo, Dad, give me some music. And boy, he gave me a fucking stack. And not all those bands stuck with me throughout the years, but, like, Metallica, classic for a reason. I could, like, cheat here and also put Ride the Lightning on here. These two albums really go hand in hand. They're from the same era. They have a lot of Dave Mustaine's writing on it without him on it. They were much better before they became mainstream, i.e. pre-Black Album. Yeah, exactly. Like, their first four, like, Injustice for All is still really good. One is an incredible track. One is amazing. But, like, not even close, like, for the rest of Injustice for All, though. Like, the title track's good. Blackened's a really good intro. One is phenomenal. But a lot of the rest of the album's, like, okay. But Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets are all-timers. But they're so similar that I feel like I gotta pick one. And if I do pick one, it's gonna be Master of Puppets. By just tiny, tiny margin. Just because, like, the production is just slightly better. The songwriting is just slightly better. All the songs on it are just slightly better than Ride the Lightning, pretty much. Like, the title track is a fucking... Like, I say this word as, like, in jest a lot. It's fucking epic, though, dude. Like, the title track, Master of Puppets, really put on display, like, what Metallica was, like, capable of. And the rest of the album really follows it. We also got some D&D inspirations from this one in later life. Disposable Heroes is like, it's one of those songs that, like, when I say like music inspires me in D&D, sometimes it can be just like, oh, there's a creature in a song. Like for King Gizzard, like I mentioned on Trina's Discord, like, oh yeah, Lord of Lightning inspired like a D&D session because him fighting the Balrog, like this wizard that conjured a demon basically to fight it. And like, while that's not exactly what's going on with the King Gizzard tracks, that's like how I interpreted it. And then I created a character out of that, of like, who it would be a motherfucking evocation wizard that would literally summon a demon, like a very powerful demon, just to test their fucking lightning on. I made the Thane of Thunder instead of Lord of Lightning as like the reference. But anyway, for Metallica, Disposable Heroes is a much more impactful, like if in the Magic set for Kael Morath, there would be a saga that is what like Disposable Heroes inspired. But like the taking it literally kind of element, like for a lot of like the Metallica inspirations, because there's a lot of like anti-war kind of themes going on, and you know, I'm not a fan of war, if I'm gonna be honest. I think war is pretty bad. So I definitely like a lot of those themes, like Kael Morath, the Magic Plane, the D&D setting that is mine. The main focus of it is a plane of eternal war that has angels and demon people always fighting and clashing constantly. It's a whole thing. But the whole point of that is to explore anti-war themes, and with Metallica, it definitely like fits right in there. Like For Whom the Bell Tolls is like fucking definitely one of those tracks that really is just like, this is vibes of that plane, which, you know, that's on Ride the Lightning, not Master of Puppets, but still, Disposable Heroes inspired a whole event where the demonic faction of things, one of their like lead commanders summoned a bunch of demons to just eat everything, because they were like getting pushed back. The angel peoples had like some crazy stuff that they couldn't deal with, and they were just like, we just need the biggest demons to just devour. A bit of a berserk situation, making sacrifice. So like this guy's like entire platoon was fed to the demons so they would be powerful enough to consume the opposition. Disposable Heroes, these people, these soldiers are literally disposable to this commander, and of course to the demons above them. So, you know, that's where that came from. One of the characters in my main campaign, who was a soldier that survived that event, they have basically, for JoJo's fans, they have a stand that is called Disposable Heroes. It'd be, you know, in the brackets. A little bit of JoJo's inspiration still also kind of like, that's what like ties these things together, you know, of like the music inspiring fantasy and then being referenced. But yeah, we're getting sidetracked again, because fucking, you know, I get wrapped up in these things. I get caught up in it. It's like Crossfire, dude. Okay. Carpenter Brutt's trilogy, I think probably I spelled Carpenter wrong. Carpenter Brutt. Thank you. I think that one's probably gonna make it on the list still. That's a good ass one. Carly Rae Jepsen's Emotion, probably also gonna make it on here. Specifically, actually, I don't remember which one is the deluxe edition. I think it's the pink one. Yes, gotta be the deluxe edition. Like, actually though, because there's some fucking bangers on the deluxe edition. The bonus tracks should have been on the main fucking album, dude. Didn't Just Come Here to Dance. My God, dude. I makes me want to fucking dance. Love that song. So good. Wants me to fucking, makes me want to get down and boogie like it's a disco. Fuck. And you know, not a whole lot of music makes me want to dance, you know. Some of it does. Some of it really gets me. Like LCD Sound System. That's the music that makes me want to move around. I don't know what it is. I mean, I kind of know what it is. It's that fucking, I almost call him James Sunderland. Not James Hetfield. Different James. What the fuck is his name? The LCD Sound System guy knows what he's doing, is what I'm trying to say. James fucking James. I don't even know. What is his name? I don't know. I'm not going to look it up. We're going to get sidetracked again. Kung Fu. We got to get that one on there. Get this one on the docket. You know, like some nostalgic picks here for sure. But like, they definitely, Alkaline Trio. They definitely like stand the test and like, you know, battling like more recent music that I fought? Fucking what? Battling more recent music that I discovered and gotten into. Oh, we need another fucking Daft Punk's Discovery. I think that's definitely a top rower. If I do say so myself. I think these top 8. Because we're going like by favorite here, not necessarily best. Because like Daft Punk's Discovery is one of the few albums that I would describe as like a perfect album. You know, like it just, the flow, every track, it just does its thing. It's just fucking tight, doesn't waste any time. It's just good, man. Like everything just flows so nicely into one another. I mean, there's the fucking movie Interstellar 555. 5555? Is it 4 5s or 3 5s? Interstellar and then a series of 5s. You know the thing. Animated movie with Daft Punk's Discovery backing the whole thing. Amazing animated feature. Amazing album. They go great together. You don't need to watch it to listen. You don't need to, I mean, you probably should listen when you watch it because it's part of the whole thing, but you know what I fucking mean. It's a great album on its own, but then also there is a cool animated movie attached to it. I definitely recommend checking out the movie at least once, but again, you can see it and then just be like, yeah, album though. Yeah, with the music though. Like that's the core appeal, of course. But Daft Punk's Discovery, like I said, it's like damn near a perfect album. I might put it over Skeleton. Is it number 3? What else could be number 3? To stand next to Blood Mountain and under The Hazards of Love, I think maybe number 3. And then Skeleton feels pretty good at number 4. Man, we're pushing Polygon Wonderland down. I have more D&D things to talk about when I do want to discuss this album, because Crumbling Castle gives me fucking chills, for a lot of reasons. Because one, it's just really good and like builds its atmosphere very well. That's something about like a lot of like prog music that I tend to be kind of drawn towards, and like not all music that does it is necessarily like considered progressive music. Like I don't know if I'd call Carpenter Brut prog. Like they're heavy electronic. Like it's electronic music. I fucking accidentally took it off the list. But electronic music being akin to metal without it being metal with electronic stuff involved, you know? Like Carpenter Brut could, and I'm pretty sure has, toured with metal bands before. And not just like heavy industrial shit. I think it's closer to dark synth. Yeah, there you go. I think dark synth is like the proper term for it, but it's still so heavy, you know what I mean? That just like it kind of lets it exist kind of in that like heavy metal vein. It almost feels like prog metal, but it is, as Patrick said, it's more like dark synth actually, you know, if we're gonna actually like pin down a genre. Carpenter Brut is on your workout playlist. Dance with the Dead, oh lord, your absolute jam. Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think Carpenter Brut is great workout music. It's just great. You want to be getting physical, doing stuff. You know what I mean? I listened to Carpenter Brut the most when I was working my last retail job. I mean, I listened to it at the warehouse. Yeah, like I was doing manual fucking labor and I wanted to put this on to like get me moving. Definitely great for that. But also, one of the things this album generally does is just build its atmosphere extremely well. And that's why I make the kind of prog comparisons. Like Bedlam and Goliath, as Fantano stated it, somehow as a bad thing, that it is a non-stop prog slugfest. That is why I love this album. I think I'd put Emotion over Fortress. This is an all-timer. Well, I don't know. It depends on how I put all-time. Depends on how I use the phrase all-timer. Because like all-timer as stuck with me forever. Because I think this came out in like 2005. Fucking Asian Kung Fu Generation's Kimi something M. I really wish I remembered like the proper name for the album, considering that I like it so much. But like it's the one. It's the one. It's got Flashback on it. That was in an anime. Kimi Tsunagi 5M. That is the name of the album. Yes. Kimi Tsunagi 5M from Asian Kung Fu Generation. It's fucking just jamming, man. It's just an album of jams. It just jams. It flows really well from one track to the other. Every song fucking, I mean, it doesn't necessarily like rip, you know. Like I feel like the closest American comparison I could make to the band is like Weezer or something, but they definitely rock a lot more than Weezer does, and the album is more tightly constructed than a lot of Weezer albums. I like Weezer, don't get me wrong. In fact, I should probably put Blue Album on here, actually. Like, I don't think Weezer made it onto any of my previous lists. I think we'll put them down there. They should be on here. By all accounts, I feel like Weezer should be on here. I listen to them quite a bit, especially, I would say, they're kind of like in this era of my life. This era right here with like Modest Mouse and everything. You know, as an angsty late teen. Great time for Weezer. Speaking of angsty music, Blood Red Shoes. I don't think we put them on the list yet. Blood Red Shoes. Blood Red Shoes. Fire Like This. It's a bit angsty. It's not quite as lo-fi as like their first album. I think that's why I would pick this as like my favorite Blood Red Shoes album. It's still like raw enough that like that element definitely comes through, but it's like more tightly produced. It's kind of like a bit like neo-punk in a way like that, where it's like it's raw, it's aggressive, but like we also kind of want it to sound kind of good. You know what I mean? It's kind of grungy in a way, like British grunge, kind of late wave British grunge is kind of what I could bill Blood Red Shoes as. Definitely very emotional album, a lot of emotional resonance with this album. Again, late teen years, that's why Blue Album reminded me of Blood Red Shoes. But definitely just like the sheer amount of emotional resonance. I've seen them live. I love Blood Red Shoes. Like, they've kind of waned over the years, but they're still there. When I'm feeling the angst, because it'll still bubble up from time to time, I go to Blood Red Shoes, you know, like that's what they're good for. Death from Above, kind of other end, like they're a little more angry and less like angsty. Cause like Blood Red Shoes, they're like mad, but they're also sad. And there's a little more depth to the emotion in that way. Where Death from Above is just like, I just want to fucking make noise. And that's what they're good for. And also just like the bassist and drummer dynamic for Death from Above also kind of gives it a different texture, where Blood Red Shoes lacks a bassist, has a guitarist, also female male vocal thing going on. Big fan of that. That's also part of why I like Johnny Foreigner so much. You give me a British lass and a British guy, man, dude, fucking doubling up on the vocals, I'm gonna like something about it a little bit. There's lesser bands that had that dynamic that I definitely enjoyed, you know. But these two, Blood Red Shoes and Johnny Foreigner, are fucking phenomenal. And it was like kind of recent that I like reminded myself just how goddamn much I like this album by Johnny Foreigner. I like all their stuff. All their stuff's pretty good. Has a lot of energy. Kind of, it makes me want to move, but like in a different way than like Carly Rae Jepsen or like LCD Sound System does. Like they make me want to dance. Johnny Foreigner makes me want to like flail. You know what I mean? Like I just want to move, not necessarily rhythmically, not necessarily in like a pleasing fashion, but like I just gotta fucking move, man. They're just electric, you know. But Johnny Foreigner, they're noisy, they're a little angsty, but they're still like, it's like, we're angsty, so we're gonna party about it, is kind of the vibes with Johnny Foreigner, especially this album. The first time I listened to this album, I listened to it like 5 times in a row afterwards. I kind of did the same thing with Aesop Rock's Skeleton as well, which I very seldom do that with albums, but I feel like if I can just listen to it again after having just done it, like that's usually pretty high praise. Like, it's part of why I hold Dark Souls in such high regard, MGS3, Ratchet and Clank 2 and 3, because I beat the game and then I'm like, again! What better way to show like that you've been having so much fun with a thing than just being like, I need it again. I mean, I think I also accidentally pulled Nonagon off the list, but King Gizzard's Nonagon Infinity is literally designed to loop into itself. And I listened to it like 2 times after the first time I listened to it. So it's like pretty good. I think that's like pretty good. I think it probably should belong up here. Piglet, I could just, if I just need to listen to music for a half hour, I just listen to Piglet. Like, that's just what we do. Ziltoid's funny. Ziltoid's really funny. It's not like a comedy album, and it's hard because like I'll recommend people Devin Townsend, and like especially this album, and they'll be like, oh, I don't really listen to like comedy music. I'm like, I don't either. Like, I listened to Psycho Stick a little bit when I was a teenager, but like, you know, I kind of get sick of the jokes eventually, if that's all the music is. But Devin Townsend writes some fucking music, you know? And like, if you like prog rock, if you like a rock opera, if you like the idea of the rock opera being about a fucking alien that comes to Earth in search of the perfect cup of coffee, I mean, you gotta listen to Ziltoid. And like, I feel like I kind of oversold the funny element of it to people, because that's kind of like what makes it special to me, in a way. It's like balancing the comedy with just legitimately good prog metal music writing and production. And like, the crazy thing too is like, on Ziltoid, all the drums are fucking digital, because Devin Townsend isn't a drummer. And he made the whole fucking album himself, like in his basement. Like I think it was like right after he had his first kid, um, because he like had to watch his kids so he can like go to the studio and record with the band. He had to be home. But he also made the album kind of like as like a future gift to his son in a way. So I feel like there's something special within Ziltoid. Like there's something special that Devin Townsend put into this album because of that. And it just there's so much passion in the creation of this silly ass fucking rock opera of an album, but just legitimately, like I said, just good ass fucking prog metal. Like by your command, it has some of like the story elements in there, some of the narration, some of that wacky shit, but like it just fucking is such a good ass, like another 10-minute ass song that doesn't feel like it type thing. I don't know what it is. I don't only listen to long music type music. Maybe that's why some people don't like prog. They'll just be like, "Oh, I don't like prog music." And it's like, it's all so different. How can you say that? How can you fucking say that? But I guess yeah, some people just aren't in for a 10-minute track in the middle of their album, or like 3 10-minute tracks. But just just get into the jam, dog. I don't fucking know what to tell you. Just listen to that 10-minute song. You'll like it, I swear. Let's pull up my master list again. I keep calling it a master list, but we're editing this down in a way. You know what? I think Chevelle deserves some love here. We mentioned them during playing Halo, I think last week. I do still listen to Chevelle. I particularly have fondness for this album. I think it's like the tightest produced. I think it's just start to finish has the best flow, no dud tracks on it. It's just a really good, tight album. Very much encapsulates the strength of this band. I think it's kind of a little bit of a nostalgia of how it stuck with me. Because, like, there's better albums. You know? That's why, like, on all of my lists, I know, like, Venus Zero is always just like, well, that's whatever the barometer is like, this is on the list, but, like, in the bottom place. I think I can put it over Blue Album, though. Just, like, the drums are slamming. The vocalist is, I wouldn't say, like, at his peak. Although maybe, like, the melodic elements of Chevelle is definitely, like, a strong element of theirs. Like, the vocalist is a good singer. He's also pretty good at doing some screaming a little bit for when it gets extra angsty. And the guitars and bass, as always, very just thick. They got really thick, with 2 C's, I would say. Thick stringed sections for the guitar and bass. Because I think the bassist also usually distorts their bass along with the guitar. So, like, that kind of really ties the two instruments together and just making, like, this very, like, dense kind of guitar bass for, like, they kind of do a lot more, like, riffs and stuff. But it definitely, yeah, it makes for, like, this really, like, thick, dense, heavy. Even when it's not, like, going in, like, a metal direction, even their kind of more laid back tracks are just, there's this element of heaviness to it, this weight to it, I would say. Yeah, like, you can't fucking, I can't not include this album on the list. Chevelle, some of their albums are better than others. A lot of their albums are, like, I wouldn't say half good. Like, they always have, like, a couple tracks on there that I'm just like, I could maybe do without this one. But Venus Sierra, I think it's one of the few of their albums that's just, like, start to finish, just fucking goes, keeps going. It kind of goes, ebbs and flows in, like, the type of energy, but there's always an energy there. And I kind of mentioned that before, of just like with Blood Mountain, with fucking Johnny Foreigner's always Waited Up to Light, um, fucking Piglet also. Again, like Piglet's a lot more chill math rock, you know, than some of these other bands. But like there's still just like this energy. Fucking Bedlam and Goliath, Coral Fang from the Distillers. I barely even touched on this one. Like they just have this infectious energy and they keep it up through the whole album. That really helps me just carry it through. That made me fucking think of another one. Another album that should be on here. If I can spell her name right, I should probably just look up Desire. Yeah, there we go. Okay, easy. I just needed to look up Desire instead of try to spell her fucking name. Caroline Polachek's Desire, I Want to Turn Into You. This is going on the list somewhere. This is a contender. This is a newer album. This is the newest album that I think is going to be on this list. Because of how new it is. It's part of why it's not on my last list. I think I made my previous one 2 years ago, I want to say, and the newest album on there was To Pimp a Butterfly, which I think came out in 2018. So this one came out last year. For those that don't know, Caroline Polachek is half of the band that is now no longer together, Chairlift. I'm a fan of Chairlift. I like Chairlift. I probably could put Moth on here as well. I think I might do that. It might not make it to. It might not make the cut. There it is, Moth. We'll put it down there for now. Moth's pretty goddamn good. But man, what a fucking good pop record. Like Caroline Polachek, amazing voice, but really I feel like she was the brains of Chairlift. Like she doesn't need that other dude, man. And it really shows. I haven't listened to her previous solo album, but if it's half as good as Desire, I Want to Turn Into You, like it's stellar. I think I might put it over Carly Rae Jepsen's Emotion, honestly, because just like head-to-head pop records, Desire has a better flow. There's a couple of songs on the album that I'm not like a huge fan of because they're like a lot more low-key, but at the same time, like there's a little more like raw emotion to it, which ironically enough isn't quite captured on some of the weaker tracks of Carly Rae Jepsen's Emotion. So if we're comparing these two, I don't know if it's a recency bias thing or what, but like this one, man, I'm telling you, I think everybody should listen to this album. It's got some bangers. It's got some kind of lower key slappers, you know, like because it slaps. You know what I mean? Slappers isn't really a term, is it? But yeah, man, like something about this album, and also like it's a lot tighter of like an album than Carly Rae Jepsen's Emotion. That's another one that kind of earns it some extra points in my book. I'm a sucker for a leitmotif. What can I say? And she sprinkles them throughout the album. Caroline Polachek does. And just kind of like tying those pieces together in a way of like, these few songs are kind of part of a suite. These few songs here are kind of connected. And like other things kind of blend into each other in that way. Again, like great flow to the album. Like it's kind of, you know, it's like an ocean. Like the Desire is like an ocean. And you feel that kind of this ebb and flow throughout the album. That's part of like the concept for it. Which I think is fucking cool. I definitely catch that vibe from it. Without having to have like looked that up, but then I discovered that. I'm like, oh yeah, I totally feel that. Of course, you know, the musician that made the fucking album is gonna have a lot to say about it and how it's supposed to kind of feel. But if I was able to pick up on that feeling without requiring me to have seen those words, you know, It works. It worked. Whenever an album works, that's gonna earn it accolades in my book. That's kind of how I judge most media, I would say. Also, I forgot to loop. Video paused? Why did you pause? What the hell? Okay. Yeah, I was wondering why my music stopped. Alright. My bad. Sorry, guys. Fucking, where was I? What was I even saying? Oh yeah, for concept albums. I fucking love concept albums. And just judging media in general is just like, if I feel like they executed on what they were aiming for, like they had a goal, and then they achieved that goal, like they did it. You know, like it is a success as a work. So that's kind of like a baseline, like, okay, they did what they were seeking out to do. How well did they execute that? It's kind of like the next step. And then from there, it's just kind of judging it on like aesthetics, basically. It's just like, is it cool? Is it good? Does it sound good? Does it look good? Is it pleasing to the ear, eye, fingers, video game, like, you know, like kinesthetically for like a video game. That's an important element. It's like, how does this game actually feel to play? You know, but that's judging mediums as they are their mediums, you know. That's a whole fucking discussion, whole can of worms that like I've touched on, I will continue to touch on, I will often touch on. But what am I forgetting here? What am I forgetting? What are we forgetting here? Oh yeah, fucking Tool's Lateralus. Laterals. Their third album. I definitely have a lot of nostalgia for Enema. I like Tool a lot. They're a good band. I don't know why it's such a meme to like rag on them. Because like, I think because a lot of their fans, I say I don't understand. I think I understand. A lot of their fans speak not like too highly of Tool, but like they act like the fact that it has any depth at all makes it like the headiest music in the fucking planet. And like, it's not, you know. There just is any brain put into it at all. Like, as I kind of phrase it, it's just like, you know, some dudes thought that some of Carl Jung's ideas were kind of neat and they put polyrhythms over it and like sounds pretty good, you know. That's kind of all there really has to be to it. But like, you know, the like literal math elements that go into like the writing and the concepts of the songs definitely adds a lot to it. It definitely brings it together as like a holistic package. Again, having a goal, setting out to achieve that goal, and I would say being pretty damn successful with it. I think this is almost definitely Tool's best album. I think it's mostly just for Enema. They just, the like transitory tracks, the like noise tracks on Enema are just, yo, Warstar and G, what's up? Yo, we got a new, is this a new high emote? New fucking waving Chikorita? Jesus. A new waving Chikorita guy. Anyway. Hello, Worst RNG. Welcome. We're talking about music before we play some Dark Souls. Glad to see you here. Glad to have you. How you doing, mon frere? Is mon frere, does that mean my friend? I don't know French. Yeah, we got Chikorita's. I keep wanting to say Chikorita. What is wrong with my mouth? Jesus. All right. Let's see. What else are we forgetting here? Oh yeah, fucking goddamn. Fleet Foxes. Holy shit. I was like looking at the name of the band and blanking. Fleet Foxes, another like folkier band. Hopelessness Blues is another stellar album. Just a good ass album that's got its themes, it's got its vibes. All the songs are good. All the songs flow into each other very well. If you like folk rock at all, you gotta listen to some Fleet Foxes. What's going on, Rancid Nanners? I mean, Like I said, we're talking about music. We're judging music. I'm ranking my top 48 albums. And you may ask, why 48? Well, that's just because it looks the best on a grid. So, you know, I was going to do like 50. I was going to do maybe 64 because it would just be 8 by 8. But I think 48 is plenty. But yeah, how are you doing? We're Star and Chi. And everybody else in chat, how you guys doing? Everyone who's been hanging out. If I didn't ask you before how you're doing, I want to know how you're doing. I appreciate those that like did come through the raid and were just like, oh shit, you got some good picks here, and then just kind of like hightailed it. I still appreciate, like, having my music taste complimented is definitely extremely flattering. No Kings from Doomtree. I think we probably put that down in like yo, these are pretty fucking solid, but they're not like blowing my mind. Like, that's kind of what like this bottom row is. It's like they're classics. I can pretty much throw them on whenever. Start to finish, they're solid, but they're not like, there's no like deeper element there, you know? Also, Nirvana, I think, was one that like eluded previous lists. Just fucking Nevermind by Nirvana. I think part of it was like, when I was trying to kind of like, there was part of me that was trying to appeal more to like big music heads. Like, for a long time, there are a lot of these people that are like, oh, Kurt Cobain doesn't sing right. He's not a good vocalist. They don't do this right. Are they even a good band? And I'm just like, I came at it again recently because I think it was like the anniversary of this album this year. I think it came out in 94. But like people, like real Nirvana fans coming out and just be like, yo, Nevermind's kind of good. Like, Nirvana, kind of an iconic band for like a reason. They're kind of like good. And like I went back listening to Nirvana, I was like, why the fuck did I ever stop? You know? And this album in particular, maybe it's kind of a basic pick. Again, that might be part of why it like eluded me for a long time for like ranking it on one of these kinds of lists. But like I said, it's iconic for a reason. It's a fucking classic. Like, Metallica's Master of Puppets, why wasn't this on my previous list? It's like too mainstream and like, oh, you know, I'm trying to be fucking cool and introduce people to music they maybe not heard of. That's probably an element too. I'm like, oh, everybody's listening for Nirvana, but I listened to Nirvana, goddammit. Why wasn't this on my fucking list before? I think I could probably rank it. I think Lateral's probably better album than... Ooh, that's a tough one. I think I listen to Laterals more than I listen to Bedlam and Goliath. I think Bedlam and Goliath is maybe a better album critically, you know, if you were to get technical. But I think I would rather just, like, if you just asked me, like, yo, you want to put out an album? And I also like to, like, appeal to other people. That's part of it, too. It's like, there's some abrasive elements about this album where I'm like, I wouldn't just put this on for anyone hanging around. But I also do think it's really fucking good. So it's kind of tough. Like, how far do we really bump it down? And that's the thing, is like, this like middle area, I think, is where it's gonna get kind of hard to like really pin this down, you know? I don't know. Like, the top row, this is pretty much locked in. I don't think this is gonna really change. Like, these two, that's a bit of a contentious point, I think, too. Ziltoid kind of climbing up the list here. But, like, as much as I love Ziltoid, it never gave me chills. It never felt like it was, like, depicting my soul in the way that Polygon Wonderland does. Something about Crumbling Castles, I don't know. It feels like King Gizzard read my mind from miles away for... Because, like, also the main point that, like, there's resonance there, like the place in my setting that is the crumbling castle that like flooded and everything. That shit was inspired by Anor Londo, dude. Or not Anor Londo. Fuck. New Londo in Dark Souls. It's just a Dark Soul. And I'm like, I make this cool Dark Soul, made it a little more Tower of Babel, and then King Gizzard comes along and they're like, yo, Tower of Babel's flooding, dude. Crumbling castle. I'm just like, fuck. And also I think like the like illusions within Crumbling Castle that like depicts the crumbling castle as also like a like decrepit, decaying person who's like crumbling and falling apart. Like, I don't want to be a crumbling castle. I think with like a lot of my like chronic issues with my body and everything, I think that's like another like resonance element on like a deeper level that really just, this album I can't not feel something, you know what I mean? But yeah, we got Nirvana on the list. Nevermind. Some people might say it's a basic pick. Like, it's not, it ain't even in utero, dude. Like, what the hell? Are you kidding me? This is their most commercial sounding one. Like, Kurt Cobain himself would be like, fucking seriously? This is your favorite? I'm sorry, dude. The spirit of punk is still alive in Nevermind. No matter how many harmonies he got going on in the production, no matter how much radio play Smells Like Teen Spirit got, the spirit of punk is still alive. That's what made grunge so successful, I feel like, is having the roughness, the rawness, the real emotion and angst, and having that tempered with like legitimately good music production in the studio. You know, like that's part of why fucking Soundgarden is so good. And that's like also another weird one. Like, there's bands that I really, really like. Like, I don't want to put Blind Guardian on this list because it made my previous list because I'm like, oh, I really like Blind Guardian. I should maybe include them. Oh, what's my favorite album by them? I guess it's probably A Twist in the Myth. But like, while that is a good album, I don't really listen to it that much. But if anybody ever put on Blind Guardian, I'd be like, oh, fucking hell yeah, dude. Yeah, dude, let's fucking jam. Speaking of that. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. This Unreal track right here. This Unreal track playing right now. Fuck. I'm feeling something. Fucking, oh my god. I wish Unreal just worked to stream. I would love to stream that game. Like, I know when I was getting started early on, and I was doing a lot of those classic shooters, like going through all of them. Because like my dad is one of my most dedicated viewers of the YouTube VODs. Once they hit it over there, I still have to export a lot of stuff. But he asked me, it's like, yo, when are you going to do Unreal? And I'm like, that was one of the first games I wanted to stream. And Streamlabs is just not having it. Unreal Gold just doesn't want to get captured, basically. I might try and figure that out again at some point, because the original Unreal is so fucking good. Like, Unreal and Half-Life are why when I got around to playing Halo 1, I'm like, yeah, that's video game. You know, like, I just wasn't impressed because games out of fucking 98 were already doing a lot of what Halo did. I mean, the most that Halo evolved in combat was a lot of the vehicle stuff, which, having played a lot of like the really old shooters and playing Halo now, I'm just kind of like, okay, I can see the significance of just like how much more open a lot of these areas are to like facilitate the vehicle combat and everything, and just how much bigger a specific encounter is able to be. You know, like Halo definitely still revolutionized a lot. Don't get me wrong, but it's hard for me to see all of what it revolutionized when what a lot of people harped on was stuff that those other games already did. Like, you want to give me a good first-person shooter narrative? I think Half-Life still has Halo beat, if I'm being real. But Half-Life is also a very special game. It's also a video game, not a music album. Once again, we were getting sidetracked. All right. Talking Heads. I don't think I got that one on the list. Speaking in Tongues, probably, I think is the one. Like, Remain in Light, that's like the critical one. That's the, like, I'm trying to appeal to, like, music heads over here. Where, just simply put, Speaking in Tongues, it's just got better songs on it. I think the biggest thing for Remain in Light is the first, I want to say, half of the album is just honestly mind-blowing a little bit. But then it doesn't keep that steam. Like, fucking, let me look at the track list again. Let's go Talking Heads, Remain in Light. So, yeah, Born Under Punches, great intro. Cross-Sided Painless, great. The Great Curve, single favorite Talking Heads song by a huge margin. I fucking love The Great Curve. Like, that is a song that, like, it came on shuffle one time, and I was just like, I don't listen to this band enough. I need to listen to Talking Heads, like, for real. Once in a Lifetime, classic. Houses in Motion, pretty good. But then it's like Seen and Not Seen, Listening Wind, and then like the Overload. It just kind of ends. It just kind of peters out. Like, that's my biggest problem with Remain in Light. Is like, it's so strong, and then it just kind of peters out. Like, Seen and Not Seen's like a pretty good, like, low-key track. But like that going into a really low-key track, and then the Overload is a very long, I don't want to say drawn out song, but it just, like I said, it just kind of peters out, and that kind of sucks. Like, if the Overload was more of a, like, climactic track, I think that Remain in Light would probably beat out Speaking in Tongues. But like Burning Down the House, Making Flippy Floppy, Girlfriend is Better, like, those are fucking dancey ass, like, high energy songs. Slippery People's pretty good. I Get Wild is kind of like one of the more low-key tracks on it, but it's still like, it has like an energy to it. It kind of feels like a hangover, but like in a way where like you're trying desperately to like exist still. You know what I mean? So like that, like, desperate to clamor and exist, that feeling still kind of gives it like a very unique kind of energy. So I think that's where like Speaking in Tongues, that kind of just, that wins it some real points. Fucking another one that I feel has eluded previous lists would be Heretic Pride. Give me, oh, I gotta press enter, right? Heretic Pride. The Mountain Goats. The Mountain Goats. I don't hide them, and I don't hold them in that higher regard as greatest of all time, but it's funny because the whole, you know, goat these days. Anyway, the Mountain Goats, another kind of folkier type band, something in that vein. Acoustic guitar man writing music. Heretic Pride, pretty fucking good. Autoclave, very emotional track, a lot of resonance there. I feel it. The title track, Heretic Pride, is something that got me to start playing acoustic guitar again at all, and like actually try to learn acoustic guitar. I need to get back to it. The calluses on my fingers are gone because of the last 2 months. I hadn't really been able to like sit down as much, so I didn't sit down with a guitar as much. I can stand and play, but it's harder, you know. Especially with a bulky ass acoustic guitar. I could stand and play an electric a lot easier. But anyway, Heretic Pride, the title track, I fucking love that song. Something in it I really feel, you know what I mean? I really, really feel this album. And the whole album, start to finish, very good. Runs the gamut of just feeling like you don't belong while trying desperately to find your place kind of thing. That's like being and finding pride in that as well. Like, that's kind of the theme of the album, Heretic Pride, being prideful of being this outcast, this outsider. But just like, yeah, a lot of really good jams on it. It's not all like acoustic, low-key stuff. Like Lovecraft in Brooklyn, I think is the name of the track. It's a lot like more of like a rock song, you know? But like the whole thing, to its lowest key points, like Autoclave, to the highest energy, like Lovecraft in Brooklyn, and kind of in the midpoint with Heretic Pride itself. Does a lot with a little. You know what I mean? That's kind of what's going on with this album. I feel like Speaking in Tongues. Coral Fang I could probably drop. And then move up these two. It's like these felt a little low. Like especially Hopelessness Blues and Speaking in Tongues. Those felt a little low here. Carpenter Brut over Fortress. Nirvana over Blood Red Shoes. I think that's fair. I think if I did this, Blood Red Shoes would be like, what? Are you sure? the band themselves, because I know them personally, I don't. I talked to them a couple times at a couple concerts I went to. I don't know them. But still, like if they were to look at anybody, any person's like albums of all time, and they saw them like placed over Nirvana, I feel like they'd just be like, you sure about that? You know, like influential bands that have definitely been influenced by them kind of thing, of just like, you can't, like if there's like a metal band I really like that's very much like a proto, or not even proto, it'd be like a neo Metallica. Like they're trying to bring back thrash. Like if I put, I mean, I did put King Gizzard over them twice. I don't know. I feel like if King Gizzard saw that, they'd be just like, are you sure Metallica under our albums? I don't know. But that's also kind of just a thing of like the people in the band. They're humble. They would see like something they're deeply influenced by and be like, I don't know. But also for like King Gizzard's case, there's a lot of other bands that have inspired them a little more directly. It's mostly King Gizzard's metal forays, like Rat's Nest and Petro Dragon, where like the thrash is like, it's just a thrash metal album. Like in the case of Rat's Nest, which I was really tempted, but I think Nonagon and Polygon Dwandaland narrowly beat out Rat's Nest, which I would say if I had to pick between King Gizzard's two metal albums, I think I would pick Rat's Nest over Petro Dragon pretty narrowly, just because I think Rat's Nest is a tighter album. There's no like wasted time, where I feel like Petro Dragon's second track is kind of a dud. I don't really like Supercell very much. And Converge kind of brings it back, but it's still like half good. Like it could have been better. I feel like those two songs in particular, they could have like cut down a little bit, maybe blended into one track. And then it would have made for a much stronger album. But like after Converge, like Witchcraft is a really great lead-in to Dragon. Oh wait, no, not Dragon, sorry. Into fucking Gila Monster. Great lead-in to Gila Monster, which is a great lead-in to Dragon. And Dragon's an excellent climax to the album. And then Flamethrower is a good ender. Like the build-up to the best tracks is great. It's just those... Because also like the intro track, Motor Spirit, is like really good. And then it kind of drops off and then picks back up. So it's like this weird kind of like noticeable dip that Petro Dragon has, where Rat's Nest does not have that. Rat's Nest just fucking goes. We have kind of like a more doom metal track with Superbug, but it still then like pushes you into the second half of the album, which I would say is stronger than the first half. So I would rather an album... Well, fucking, they both do the same thing. It's just Rat's Nest does it better and has more strong stuff in the beginning of the album. Like Mars for the Rich is like a more of a heater than like fucking Supercell is. I think that's really what it comes down to. But we're talking about 2 King Gizzard albums that didn't even make it onto my top 48. So, you know, lest we get distracted once again. Let's see. Killer Mike's rap music and Run the Jewels self-titled. Do they make the cuts? I really haven't been listening to them lately. Like, they're good. They're definitely good rap albums. But I don't know if they make the cut. That's the thing. And like, To Pimp a Butterfly is an amazing album, but I just like haven't listened to it at all in like the past couple of years. And that's where I'm just like, I don't know if it really stands to be in my top 48 albums. Because like, even if I think it's really good, if I don't ever fucking listen to it, like, I don't know if I can like count it on this list, you know? Like, is that fair to even include it if I barely listen to it? And like, I don't listen to Downward Spiral all the time, but there's a few tracks off of it that I listen to more than like a few of the good tracks off of To Pimp a Butterfly. But at the same time, it's one of those things where like my mind was blown by the album, but I barely listened to it. Where like these albums I listen to often, like at the bottom row here, but my mind was not blown by them. Maybe Moth a little bit, but like I feel like saying my mind was blown, more like I was just kind of, there were a lot of surprises and like production choices that I'm just like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, they're doing some stuff here, you know? But like To Pimp a Butterfly, the album is bigger than I am, and I'm very white, and it's about the black experience as like an artist. So, you know, I feel like that's part of why my mind was blown, was because it was like a lens into something that I didn't really necessarily like understand as much, and it helped me understand that. And I think that definitely speaks to the merits of that album. That definitely says a lot about that album. Like, The Blacker the Cherry made me fucking think about some shit, man. But at the same time, I don't listen to that album very much. I'm not like a Kendrick Lamar mark. I think he's great. I think his music's definitely very good. He's one of the best. Like, I was watching a video by FD Signifier, and he stated it as Kendrick is the best songwriter in rap. And I would definitely agree with that. And I definitely like music that is designed to be a song, you know, like a whole package, not just I can rap and I want to rap on this. I can sing. I'm just going to sing with like maybe a guitar. You know what I mean? I like to have the whole package, you know, and that's why like kind of the more, if you want to split hairs, the more like hip hop side of things like Aesop Rock or even fucking like Run the Jewels, and like some of Killer Mike's stuff, where they are trying to kind of make more of a whole song, you know, like there is rapping that is the mode of vocals, but there's more song to the song. But that's usually how I kind of define like the difference between hip hop and rap. I think that's kind of like the consensus that most people will come to, but I'm not like the hugest rap and hip hop connoisseur. There's just some in the genre that I do like. It's a genre I feel like I should explore a little more, but you know, I didn't really give it much of a chance until I was like a teenager. I didn't really grow up because fucking in the early 2000s, a couple of the biggest rappers were Eminem and 50 Cent. Like, are they gonna fucking sell me on the genre? I don't think so. And if there's any Eminem fans in chat, like, fucking, you know, that's fine. I'm sure, like, there's an appeal there. But I think a lot of it was, like, the one kid that I knew, like, in, like, middle school that was really into those two did not sell me on them very well for one reason or another. You just tell me about all the songs 50 Cent had about getting his dick sucked, and I'm just like, alright, cool, man. Does he ever talk about anything else? And then he'd just be like, oh, lick my lollipop down at the candy shop. And I'm just like, bruh, that dude was very obsessed by the concept of dick sucking. I'll just say that much. I wonder if he ever figured out anything out about himself. You know what I mean? I don't think he did. Because the last I heard about him, he was like some kind of weird sex addict or something. I don't fucking know. a lot of people from that era of my life did not make it. Like, they're alive, but they didn't make it, you know. Like, one of my other friends from middle school, I recently discovered the lore, and this was all like, a lot of this came out when I went to visit like from my old dwellings during April 20th, a day that has no particular significance to anything, much less a drug or anything. But when I was hanging out from people from my old haunt, I heard some of their lore of like these old people that I used to hang out with that aren't a part of this group for reasons. And one of them that was like one of my closer friends in middle school, apparently he just was like traveling the world on a coke binge, and I'm just like, good for him, you know, like traveling's good, that's cool, be more worldly, experience some cultures. On a coke binge, I don't know about that, but he just is a fucking vagabond now, I guess, and you can feel whatever way you want about that. I don't know if he's you know, I hope he's doing all right. All things considered, I hope he's okay. There could be worse things to do, but like, that was like what I heard, and I was just like, fucking yeah, you know. All right, Radiohead, back to the music. Radiohead, In Rainbows, and fucking the Bends. The Bends, I feel, is another like Nevermind-esque pick of just like, this is like the popular one, you know, it has like little plastic trees on it, but also like a lot of the deeper cuts, and like the title track, The Bends, I think had some radio play. I like it more than OK Computer. OK Computer has some good tracks, but I think okay, if we're gonna put two Radiohead albums on here, I think we can probably put The Bends down. You know, it's a bit of a Blue Album situation. Maybe it's a little better than Venus Era. You know what? I think I'll put it down here for now. Might not make the cut, but it's got a lot, like the deep tracks, the whole album. It's Radiohead. In Rainbows, though, is the album, like 15 Step, the opening track, and a lot of other songs on this album were what made me realize Radiohead was more than what was off of Pablo Honey. Like, Radiohead is definitely better than Creep. You know, I never liked the song Creep. And like, it's a similar case with Weezer. Like, I heard Beverly Hills, and I'm just like, this song fucking sucks. These Weezer's guys, they ain't fucking nothing. These Weezer's guys. Anyway, you know, I thought they ain't shit. And then, you know, I listened to like their classic stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, they're pretty good. Yeah, Weezer. Yeah, all right. And Radiohead, kind of similar case, where I heard some stuff off In Rainbows, particularly 15 Step, and saw also the music video for 15 Step was like cool animated thing. Radiohead's pretty good. Yeah, Radiohead can fucking do it. OK Computer has some duds. King of Limbs, I really like the art, the album art, and the name King of Limbs, but I was not totally sold on the album. Pablo Honey, I don't like at all. You know, like, I don't even fucking remember Kid A. I think there's some albums by Radiohead that have kind of gone by the wayside for me, but In Rainbows and the Bends are the two that I definitely like. They're very different albums. Like Radiohead, like the Bends is like fucking Pablo Honey wishes it was the Bends, you know? Like that's kind of where it's at in their discography. Of like this is like the alternative rock, kind of angsty, kind of somber, sad, rockin', grunge-ish of like the late 90s kind of vibe, and like them doing it right. That's the Bends. In Rainbows is the best emblematic of like their more experimental, like Radiohead really coming into their own, doing their own thing. I would recommend this album to anybody where the Bends, I'm like, if you want that kind of like 90s alternative rock vibe, I would recommend this album. But I just think that In Rainbows is just good music. You know what I mean? Let's see what else can we dredge up here. Not on this list. Oh, I had 3 Gizzard albums on this list. I also had Paper Mache Dream Balloon, which I am quite fond of, to be fair, but we're limiting it to 2 albums from a band this time, just to kind of trim some of that fat, even though I feel like we could fill in some gaps here with a little bit of that, but I digress. I'm often digressing. I often digress. Oh, you know what? Okay, before we do Rage Against the Machine, fucking the Battle of Los Angeles did not make it onto my previous list. I'm surprised. Another great late 90s rager. Rage Against the Machine, I don't know if you guys know this, pretty good band. And like it's I know they get brought up a lot in recent years because there's people that they'll hear Killing in the Name, and there's that whole bit where they're like, fuck you, don't do what you tell me, and they think that's it, you know, like they're just a very vapid the authorities, fuck the authority, and they kind of just treat it as like the authorities like their mom or some shit. But I'm just like, there's somebody that I worked with at my first job that referred to the band as angsty white boy music. And while, yes, I grew up an angsty white boy, I'm not a boy per se, but I grew up that way. You know, I'm an angsty creature these days still a little bit. There's a lot more to Rage Against the Machine than just, you know, I don't like living. Like, it's very direct. They bring up names. They talk about fucking, like, it's about like police brutality is like the machine, you know, like, and the whole like angsty white boys thing. I'm just like, I don't know if Zach De La Roca would appreciate that comment. You know what I mean? Like, they're all fucking Hispanic. What the hell are you talking about? Fuck. But anyway, Battle of Los Angeles, I think, is like the most like just fucking solid, just fucking hard hitting tracks. You know, like it is a bit nu metal-y of that era. I can understand it kind of getting like misconstrued with like fucking like Korn and shit. Just throwing Korn under the bus this whole time. But I really feel like Rage Against the Machine and System of a Down are both kind of like, they're two bands that are trying to talk about some real shit, and then they just get lumped up with like Slipknot, and I'm just like, it's not the fucking same. It really is not. I think I can probably leave this one kind of around this area. If I was going to throw on a second one, Evil Empire, but they would just be right next to each other. It's kind of a similar case as like Metallica with like Ride the Lightning and Master Puppets. It's like, if I'm going to pick one of these, I might as well just stick with one, because like for King Gizzard, the two albums are so different. Like, sorta. For Nonagon and Polygon Donderland, if I were, and like for Radiohead, these two albums are very different. If I were to put on a second Mars Volta album, they're very different. Picaresque and Hazards of Love are both very different, you know, at least in their construction. Like aesthetically, it's the Decemberists, but the structure of the two albums are so different. That's part of why I'm just like, I can still include both of these, you know? But I was reminded of Rage Against the Machine because I was going to bring up Rise Against. Not Rage Against, but Rise Against. Now, I think this is probably a bottom rower. There we go. Bottom rower. A high bottom rower. Actually, I think I probably would put Moth at the top of the bottom row. Something like this. I also think I like From Here to Infirmary more than Coral Fang. Oh man, this is getting fucking down here. It's rough down here, man. Because like Coral Fang has a bad ending track that you can ignore. Kind of just like noisy mess for like 15 minutes. I like the fact that there is a song that I ignore on the album. It's just like a vestigial element that I'm just like, you just slice that off. That's where I'm just like, I should probably put it lower. But every other song on the album and the flow of the album and everything up to that point, like that's why I feel like you can just cut that last track. It's basically a bonus track. It's basically what would later become known as, I think, Senseless Nameless is what they call the, like, they're literally destroying their instruments in the studio for Nirvana's case. And it sounds like that's what they're doing for what the last track is known as Death Sex. We just ignore it. Whatever. You don't need it. Something in the Way is the last song on Nirvana's Nevermind. So, was it Tonight Is the Only, You're the Only One That Knew? What is the fucking, hang on. The Distillers, Coral Fang. Yeah. For Tonight, You're Only Here to Know. Close enough. That's the real last track. And I feel like that serves perfectly as an ending to the album. Yeah, Hall of Mirrors to Beat Your Heart. Oh my god. Yeah. Great album. Great album up until that last track. I feel like I might bump it down to around here. I think the bottom column's looking... I keep only a fucking column. God damn it, Anthony Fantano. But I think Rise Against, Siren Songs of the Counterculture, it's a tighter album in a way than Coral Fang, the Distillers' Coral Fang. I think it is more consistent. Coral Fang is more consistent. But Siren Song has some higher peaks. There's some heavy nostalgia factor at play here. But there's still some songs off this album that really hit, you know? Like Tip the Scales. Like a lot of the deeper cuts, honestly. Like Give It All is a great hit, don't get me wrong. But like Tip the Scales fucking goes so hard. The First Drop and Life Less Frightening. Like those are some of the ones that are just like, yo, I can't live without these songs. You know what I mean? Like they've stuck with me so much. That's why like I gotta include this album. I also feel like the album that came before it, Revolutions Per Minute, is... I think I like that one a little more for longer, but Last Chance Blueprint is just so bad. It's just such an awful song. I don't know. It's just like, the like, whatever fucking... Sounds like they put like Degrassi shit in it. I don't know. It's like stupid. It's like I have like the harshest opinions on that song. That's off of Revolutions Per Minute. The rest of that album, really good. But I think Siren Song of the Counterculture just like it's a more mature album than Revolutions. I feel like it's not like super mature. It's not like super deep or hard to understand or anything. It's still like a little bit surface level, like compared to like Rage Against the Machine and like System of a Down, where I feel like Rise Against kind of level of like anti-authoritism and like a lot of the themes and like progressive in a social type of context, progressive things that they're trying to say in their music. It's just, it feels very surface level. And like the lead singer is still in leagues with fucking PETA, like still. So, you know, but I feel like that's part of why, like some of the, like Lifeless Frightening is a very like, this is just a personal struggle kind of song. Like we're not trying to like make it bigger than it is. Like just, I don't ask for much. I just want a life less frightening. Like, I don't know. I just really feel that song. I just really resonate with it. Like that kind of thing of just like, why the fuck does it have to be so much bullshit for this? And that, like a lot of that kind of stuff. And still like it touches on like more direct things. Like State of the Union is a very directly anti-Bush, anti-war song. Like that's what that is about. And like when it comes to like the anti-Bush stuff, that's where Rise Against kind of works in their like more political angles, but there's still something they don't quite get. That, I mean, I hate to say it, I hate to phrase it like this, they're a bunch of white dudes, where Rage Against the Machine and System of a Down are not. Hispanic and Armenian respectively, they have a little better understanding about like racial prejudice and, I mean, in System of a Down's case, genocide. Like they know a little more about a few more things than Rise Against does, and it shows, and it comes through in their music. And that isn't necessarily to put Rise Against down, but because they are going for that sort of thing, and they don't execute it as well as some of these other bands, as a lot of other bands that aren't even on this list do, you know, they could do it a little better is all I'm saying. But when it comes to like the personal angst, Rise Against definitely got it in spades. And again, that's not to disparage them at all. Like they're on the list. They're on this top 48 albums list. I love the band. Don't get me fucking wrong. I don't know if McFrenzy's still around, but I know they mentioned that they were like a big fan of Rise Against in some other stream. I think it was in Kix's stream when he was playing the guitar. Which also, I have considered playing some guitar on stream, but that would be like, I don't know, 30 sub goal, something like that. And this is just an idea for like, if I want to do a sub goal thing again, I think sub goal to do a music stream. And then if that goes well, I would maybe play guitar on stream again to some capacity. Just an idea, nothing set in stone. I mean, once you see like a sub goal thing actually like on the screen again, that's when it'd be for real. But in the meantime, anybody who's subscribed, I just appreciate you supporting me. Thank you for giving me some dollars so you can have my funny skeleton emotes, you know. Which I saw the sub number go up, but I didn't get any sub notifications about it. So whoever you are, subscribed, thank you so much for doing that. I greatly appreciate it. I wish I could properly accredit them, but alas. We still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How's stream going? Hey, Kix, we were just talking about you. Stream's going. I'm getting there. I still got 6 albums that I need to pull out for this list here. Fucking something from Black Sabbath? Master Reality is pretty good. Chilling in our grave, What of this world? Oh, Into the Void. I think I'd probably just be boring and put Paranoid if I put a Sabbath album on here. I'm trying to go over like, ooh, fuck. There's one. Anna Mana Gucci, dude. Endless Fantasy. Get this one on the fucking board. Probably put it somewhere in this row here. Not super sure yet, but I think that's definitely a contender. That was definitely an overlooked track. What you do? Oh yeah, Kicks, I was just saying that you were playing guitar and it was cool, basically. Yeah, I mean that was basically what I mentioned. I mentioned McFrenzy saying something in chat during your stream, Kicks. It was, I think, when you were playing guitar that McFrenzy asked if you knew any. Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah. I think it was when you were playing the guitar and McFrenzy asked if you liked any, or if you knew any Rise Against songs. And they mentioned that Rise Against was one of their favorite bands. And I'm just like, I like Rise Against. So I was thinking about McFrenzy, which made me think of you, Kicks. So, you know. Oh, yeah. Oh. But yeah, I'm a fan of Rise Against. I didn't know how to play. I mentioned State of the Union. I did know how to play that on guitar. I don't think I learned any other songs from this album, but I did know how to play State of the Union. I think that was one of my drop D picks. I wish I had. I think I might still have the iPod somewhere, but I don't know if I have a USB for it anymore. I wish that I could dig up like my playlist, because I had like a playlist on my iPod that was every song I knew on guitar, and I would like plug in my iPod to this amp that I still have, because it has a CD-in port. I would just plug my iPod into my amp, and I would just play along with that whole set. And it was like standard tuning to drop D and then drop C, because I knew a bunch of songs in those different tunings. So like I had like a couple Dead Kennedy songs and shit for like standard tuning, and then drop D I think probably had the most. I think I knew the most songs in drop D, and then drop C was like had some Mastodon. That's where a lot of my System of a Down. I think it was also like there's some System of a Down in drop D, and then there's some System of a Down in drop C, and then nothing C standard though. Who the fuck uses that? I really like the drop tunings because the first or bottom two strings, I guess, the two thickest strings, what would be E and A, the like, I don't know what you call those, but like the really basic, I'll just use the bass for this demonstration. I have my bass right here, my bass dick tug, but like where you just, it's just like one of these kinds of chords, it's just like wah. It goes like wah. When that feeling when my guitar go wah. All right. Arctic Monkeys. Ooh, yeah, we gotta get Favorite Worst Nightmare on here. The only reason why it's not on my phone is because I haven't got like a decent album rip for it. Because there's like a vinyl rip I found. I could get the music through ways, but Chugga, yeah, it goes Chugga Chugga. It goes Chug Chugga Wugga. Fucking duh. I like the Chugga Chugga though. It feels good to play. Hell, there's a couple of Chevelle songs that were in drop D, or I think even drop C actually. I was thinking about the song Family System. That song, 1, goes fucking hard. 2, love playing that riff was so much fun. Because it was like really like fluid, like really fluid chuggas, you know what I mean? Like it's all like chugga da chugga da chugga chugga da chugga. Just like I could remember my finger muscles moving and how good that felt. Like that's generally something that also makes me want to like play guitar more again. Like I used to know how to fucking play Oblivion by Mastodon. Like I think that was the hardest song I knew on guitar. Probably Oblivion. I didn't know the solo, but I knew the rest of the song. Oh my god. Man, guys, remember when I used to be good at an instrument? Maybe someday I'll be good again. Alright, so we got Favorite Worst Nightmare on here. Really good, like, indie rock of, like... It's 2007 that album came out? What the hell? Damn. Yeah, late 2000s indie rock type shit. Yeah, that's Arctic Monkeys. Another British band. A lot of British bands that I'm fond of. Fuck. I think we bring Heretic Pride down. I think we put Picaresque up a little bit, because I definitely like Picaresque more than Heretic Pride. But Heretic Pride's really good. Is this going to be our 4th row? I think so. I think I like Nonagon more than Downward Spiral. Once all of our slots are filled in, then the true ranking. Then the true ranking is afoot. I think that's when it's gonna get like really tough. I still feel like there's something I'm missing. You know what? A giant dog. This is another like more recent discovery, I suppose. The band's been around for about a decade now, and the version of this album that I've heard is like their remaster, which definitely sounds better than the original. But a giant dog. If you want to talk high energy, I've described this band to my friends as Johnny Foreigner from Texas. And you also got like it's a female lead vocalist, but you still got like backing vocals from a bunch of mans. But you still get like that kind of like co-ed texture to the vocals. High energy, a lot of shouting, a lot of fucking jamming. Like the first album I was introduced to the band is more of a concept album, and I think is a more interesting album than Fight. Pile. Yeah, they had, for like their first few albums, it was like a dog thing, like Dog Fight, a giant dog, Bone, a giant dog, Pile. Pile is the first album that introduced me to a giant dog. Like I said, I think it's a more interesting album. It has more to its construction, has some leitmotifs in it, calling back to previous tracks, that kind of thing. Songs that are kind of paired with each other. But Fight is just a bunch of fucking jams that fucking jam. It's like 16 songs, but they're like on average 2 minutes a piece. Very punky, very garagey. Just fun to listen to. Fun to fucking shout with. There's a song in Spanish on this album. I don't know Spanish. I can't find the lyrics for it anywhere, but I'm pretty sure that I'm saying the right words to it. You know what I'm saying? Mi Fascina, fucking, oh, Strange, oh, fucking, those are like the peaks of the album. But like even just like the first few, like Chatter Teeth is good. Anyways, the opening track is fucking just, I just want to fucking sing along with these dudes, you know? Like in the way that like LCD Sound System makes me want to fucking dance. A Giant Dog makes me want to fucking sing and shout, you know? Large Hound. You know what? Honestly, Kix, this is another band that I think is totally up your alley. You'll check them out? Awesome. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, if you like the like kind of punky, garagey stuff, generally speaking, I feel like I got you covered. But yeah, Giant Dog, Johnny Foreigner, King Gizzard's first album, 12 Bar Bruise, I think you'll get a kick out of too. I like a lot of like the like stuff that's kind of rough around the edges, but like doesn't just sound like shit, you know? Speaking of which, I think another one that is alluded, because it's like a compilation album, so like technically, so I never really was sure about putting it on a list. Is it yeah, I think it's Give Me Convenience or Give Me Death from Dead Kennedys. I definitely want some Dead Kennedys rap on here, because like come on, you know, I was like a big punk fan in high school. I was like a punk elitist. I was always talking down on like pop punk, because it's like, oh, it's like fake punk. It totally misses the point of punk, you know. But part of also why I want to go with Give Me Convenience or Give Me Death, some of the live tracks, Pull My Strings in particular, that were never on other albums. I think Oh yeah, Night of the Living Rednecks is just like a story, but like it's fucking hilarious. That definitely stuck with me a lot. And like they got their hits on here, Holiday in Cambodia, California Uber Allies. They're all here. But that's the thing, is it's like it is like the quintessential Dead Kennedys album. Like as a compilation, like there's definitely a lot that's not on here, you know. Like Soup is Good Food and like a bunch of shit off of, I think Frankenchrist was the album that one was off of. Was it? Oh yeah, it's the first song on that album. Yeah, Growing Boy Needs Its Lunch, like fucking there's definitely like on a lot of these other albums of theirs, Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables, also another like important, and that's the original one that had California Uber Allies on it. Like definitely worth revisiting, definitely worth listening to. But there's just some special stuff on this album that I feel like it's worth noting, it's worth making mention. I gotta like pay my dues almost, you know, to Dead Kennedys, because they were very like formative for me in high school. So it's just like, you know, a lot of the songs that really did stick with me, while they were kind of like the hits, you know, for Dead Kennedys, they were for good reason. They were hits that aren't without substance. There's nothing in Dead Kennedys catalog that is without substance. You know, they are a true blue 80s punk band. DK is great. Yeah, fucking Patrick, you surprise me sometimes. You got some good taste in music, dude. Yeah, Dead Kennedy fucking rules. I gotta pay my dues there, you know. But what are we forgetting? What are we forgetting? Ooh. Okay, I got one. I got another pop album for y'all. Kimbra. Fucking Kimbra? What? Vows. Yeah, that's a good one. Some tracks definitely better than others. A lot of the poppier tracks I'm a little more into. Lore? Yeah, dude. Thank you. But yeah, Kimbra's Vows. I think I can probably put it over down here. Is this gonna bump up Moth? And this isn't like putting it low on the list. Again, it's on the list. It's just kind of like in that realm of like, it's very solid, but it didn't blow my mind. But man, Cameo Lover, how am I not gonna dance to that song? You know, like, fucking, oh God, what is it? Good Intent. That's another one that's just like, yo, how am I supposed to not dance to this song? The deluxe version though, got some fucking bonus tracks on there. Limbo and Warrior in particular. Warrior has fucking, was it Mark Foster? Foster the People? Got Mr. Foster. They got him on the cut doing production for Warrior. Fucking great bonus track. Kimbra has an amazing voice. Most people, I guess, would probably know her for being featured on the Godier single. Fucking, what was that one? Someone I Used to Know? Somebody I Used to Know? Yeah, the Godier single. Yeah. Anyway, she was on that, but she's got her own stuff that is fucking great, you know. I definitely need to listen to more of Kimbra, because she came out, I think she's up to 4 albums now, and I've really only listened to Vows, so if she got any better than what's on here, you know. Baba Black Sheep. Yeah, you gotta check out more Kimbra. Yeah, like I said, I've only really listened to this first album, but man, I've listened the fuck to out of it. Yeah. I've listened to it quite a bit. There you go. God, there's one more slot. What am I fucking blanking on? What is something that I listen to all the time, that I hold in high regard, that is not on the list? I gotta look at my music library to jog my brain, to jog my cranium. I feel like there's something. that I'm just fucking like blanking on. And I'm gonna feel like a fool. Ooh, okay. Actually. Needs guns. TTNG 13.0.0.0. Or just 13. Or the Mayan calendar one. Some math rock for y'all here. Some British math rock. This town needs guns. I feel like I've listened to this album too much to not include it. I think I could probably bump up. Do we want to do it like this? I don't know. It's like I feel like this album should be a little higher. Maybe behind No Kings. I do like Doomtree. I do like this album a lot. Also, All Hands by Doomtree. Great hip-hop album. Something I like about Doomtree a lot is it's like a collective of like disparate hip-hop artists that all kind of work together. But they work amazing together. Their solo stuff all individually is like pretty good. But as a group and like just certain pairings, like they just work so good together. That like splitting them up feels like splitting them up, even though they all want to do their own thing and then come together, do a collab album as Doomtree, do their things, you know, all that. Like I know Dessa has been like putting out a lot of her own stuff, but I don't know about the other dudes in there. But yeah, I feel like it's very good, but not blowing my mind, you know, and that's kind of what a lot of this low column, I keep calling it a fucking column, it is a row. This is a column. Columns are vertical. Anyway, all right, so we got our 48 here. Finally, it only took us like over an hour. 2 hours? What the hell? I've been doing this for 2 hours? Jesus Christ. I still have like an hour of Dark Souls at least. Hour and a half. This is gonna be a long stream, guys. This is gonna be a long one. I'm gonna have to like open my window. It's getting hot in here. But alright, so first row, I think this is pretty agreeable. Hazards of Love, all-time favorite album. Gun to my head, favorite album of all time. Hazards of Love by the Decemberists. Can't beat that. Think I've been done good? I'd be doing this all day. You know what? Fair enough. And I feel like there's still something I'm forgetting, you know? But I mean, hey, like talking about music, talking about our passions, that kind of thing, like that's why people do a stream, right? Anyway. All right. So Daft Punk, what I would describe as a perfect album, definitely got to be like top 3 material. Behind Blood Mountain. Blood Mountain, favorite metal album of all time, probably. Skeleton, favorite hip hop album. Modest Mouse, We Were Dead Before the Ship Even Sank. Favorite like indie rock album. I fucking love this album to death, man. I've listened to it so much. I could probably sing every goddamn word of this album. Every song, like the intro track is kind of an intro track, but every song in this album is just so good. Like Dashboard, that's like their big hit, but like, oh my god, I almost said Float On. That's not the one. Miss the Boat. Fucking man. I feel things when I listen to that song. Also, Parting of the Sensory. Like that was a song. I was in a mood one time. I was like just driving to the grocery store, but I was in a fucking mood. I put on Parting of the Sensory, and I started fucking like crying halfway through it. Like when it started to pick up, I was just like crying the lyrics. Like, I don't know. There's just something just so emotionally resonant with this album in me. It's also stuck with me since like late high school, so there's that factor to it as well. But I also think it's just Modest Mouse at their peak. I think they had a guest musician. I can't remember his name or from what band he was in. But they had him on guitar and helped kind of like write and produce the album. And this like extra kind of collaborative element does come through to kind of make it like, this is like a special album that has a secret sauce to it that definitely elevates it above Modest Mouse's other work. Like, some people would say Good News for People Who Love Bad News is better. Some people would say some of the earlier stuff is better. That this album sounds too commercial. In the same way that people try to disparage Nevermind. I think that's bullshit. I think when people have a very rough and unique and emotional sound that is tempered with good production, that just makes it good. That just makes it really good. When they don't have to, like, compensate or let those, like, emotional elements go by the wayside in lieu of better production. It's the production heightening those emotional elements. This album also got one of those fucking 10-minute songs on it with Spitting Venom. Love that song. Gorillaz, Demon Days. I don't know if I really need to go too much into this one. This is like, I feel like everybody watching has probably heard Demon Days before. Like, if you know Gorillaz, you've heard Demon Days, you've at least heard Feel Good Inc. Like, and Feel Good Inc. ain't even the best song on the album, dude. But the whole thing, just start to finish, they take you into the demonic realm. You get lost in heaven, but don't get lost in heaven, actually. It just has, like, it's a journey, you know? It's one of those albums that really feels like you're being pulled along a journey. And it's very tight. Individually, tons of fucking great songs, great bops. Fucking just solid ass album. What can I say about Demon Days that hasn't been said? Kind of in the way with, like, Daft Punk's Discovery, where I'm like, it's a perfect album, moving on. You know? Johnny Foreigners, Waited Up Till It Was Light. When I first heard this album, I listened to it 5 times in a fucking row. It's like just shy of 40 minutes, I think, so it is a little bit short. That I feel kind of contributes to its, like, repeated listens. But it's just so high energy. Like I said, like, the band is like, we're angsty, but we're gonna party about it. You know, that's the vibe. It has some kind of math rock elements on occasion, but it's really just like those shouted vocals. I can't get enough, man. I love this album so much. I've been listening to it again lately, and man. All right, Coach, gotta head to bed. Good streaming. Thank you for coming by Worst RNG and granting your eyes. It's greatly appreciated. Shouts out to Worst RNG, pal of mine, streamer friend of mine. You know, let me do. Wait, is it /shoutout? /shoutout. /shoutout username. Worst RNG 4960. 4960. Shout out to the lad. I feel like I haven't given him a shout out in a while, because I think, like, there are a lot of streams for a bit where it was like his crew, like Patrick Galactic, you know, fucking Worst RNG, and like when Tricky Banana was in here, like, she knows fucking Worst RNG. But like a lot of this other crowd, like Sheep, Kicks, you guys might not know him, might not follow him. Give him a follow though if you haven't already. Oh yeah, what did Kicks say? You get what they mean. And it's fine if people don't like that, but you think there's something worth appreciating when people take a really rough new sound and tweak it into something that can be appreciated more broadly. In regards to Nevermind similar stuff. Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree. Good night, folks, and thanks. Yeah, for sure, Worst RNG. No problem. Take it easy. Have a good sleep. We're going to get through this ranking soon. I think we've done a lot of the hard work so far. This is definitely a weird one. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, I got some weird taste in music. I don't have the most diverse taste in music, but it's definitely weird. And I guess, like, I don't know, I'm a bit prideful of the oddity, you know? Just, like, pop sandwich between, like, fucking, like, The Sword is just, like, stoner metal, you know? I don't know. I can appreciate things that are very simple and things that are very complex. Weird taste is never a bad thing. Thank you, Sheep. Yeah. Weird taste ain't bad. It's just weird. Are there any where I'm just really like, I gotta move the positions around here? I think this is looking pretty good. I think this is kind of where I would want most of this to be. I think Lungs is better than Fight. I think Fight's better than Every Direction is North. I think Dead Kennedy's better than Death from Above. Not overall, but at least album. Well, maybe overall. Endless Fantasy I can probably bump down. Like, it is like Anamanaguchi firing on all cylinders. It's just some really fucking good, like, hour of chiptune fucking slammers. But it's not like anything super, super special, you know? Where I feel like once we get past Kimbra and like into Chairlift and onward, like we start to get to albums that are something special. You know what I mean? I think this is probably looking pretty good. I think this is pretty agreeable. Asian Kung Fu Generation's not in the top 10 though. I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe just put it at number 10. But then Toxicity. Oh, Toxicity's definitely better. But do I like Ziltoid more than Toxicity? Maybe? Maybe. I think I also like Piglet more than... Fuck. Yeah, I don't know. Asian Kung Fu Generation just has hard competition. I don't think it's going to make it into the top 10. I mean, fucking Nonagon. I think I like slightly more than Kimi Tsunagi 5M. I think I like Downward Spiral. Oh, man. It's okay. Yeah, it's just a competition that bumped it down so low. Carolina Polachek. This is a lot of good music on this list. Like, isn't that crazy? I remember something I like to do for gifts for people, because I ain't got no money and I got a bunch of blank CDs, and I actually have a CD writer drive. I have 2 disc drives, motherfucker. People ain't got 1 disc drive these days. Fucked up and wrong. You should have 2. One should be reading CDs. One should be writing them. All right? Don't let CDs die. All right? That's what I'm saying. Don't let discs die. Anyway, I like to make people mix CDs as a gift, because it's generally pretty personal. Like, I tried 2 disc drives. Yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, my dog, dude. Yeah. But yeah, I like to make people mix CDs. And there's one time I was hanging out with Nelik, as they be known in the stream chat, and they put on one of those mix CDs, and I forgot that I gave them one at the time. Like, I was at their place, at the Weeb Cave, as we call it. We were just like playing Magic, whatever, and they were on their computer, and they were like, I want to put on some music, and they put that on, and it was just like banger, 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 banger. I'm just like, yo, Cullen, you got some fucking hot ones tonight. And then they just turn around and they're just like, you made me this CD. I'm like, oh. No wonder why I like these songs so much. Damn. I really don't know how to feel when that kind of thing happens, when people are like listening to a playlist I made them, and I'm just like, yo, you're playing some fire tonight. But when I try to make people mix CDs and playlists and stuff like that, I'm like, I want to introduce you to some new music, but I also want to, like, I want to appeal to whoever the gift is for. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to put anything on the album that I think they are not going to like or know that they don't like. If I've ever heard them say, oh, XYZ is their favorite song from a certain band, that's going on the fucking mix CD. You know what I mean? Like, I try to remember those things, and I feel like that definitely, that adds that, like, personal touch to it. All right, so I think I'm going to go with this for my top 48. I think we're going to go with this. I still, fuck. Oh my God. I just fucking remembered. I forgot how to spell serious. I think we can ditch. Who can we ditch? Do we ditch the Bends? Do we ditch the Bends for this? I knew I was forgetting a metal album in particular. Gojira's From Mars to Sirius. God damn it. I almost I almost got out of the fucking woods without including this album. God damn it. I'm over here talking about how much I like prog metal, prog rock, what have you, and I almost let this one slip by. I think we put it here. I think this is where From Mars to Sirius should land. I knew I was forgetting something. I was just fucking recommending this album to somebody who doesn't like prog. You thought it was over. Yeah, god damn it. All right. Well, okay. I think that should settle it. But, oh my god. I just want to say, before I get out of the music portion of this, and it's not to throw shade. Actually, no. This is totally to throw shade at my friend here. The internet friend of mine. So, they made this post on Facebook, alright? They're like, hey, I'm feeling a big metal wave right now. Recommend me some metal music, okay? And I'm like, I basically all the metal on this tier list, this ranking thing, all the metal bands on here. System of a Down, Metallica, fucking Gojira's From Mars to Sirius in particular. I think that's far and away their best album. I don't even think it's like really a question. Excuse me. Mastodon, which like Mastodon's more like sludge metal. That like they are proggy, but they're also like sludge metal. It's like a different guy. The Sword. I didn't even mention The Sword. Like again, I was trying to appeal to this person's taste because they're a little edgy. Like she's a little. I don't know how to put it. Like they don't have enough of a sense of humor, I feel. So, like, I couldn't recommend Devin Townsend, because they would probably just listen to him and be like, oh, this is too fucking goofy, I don't like this. Which, you know, fair if you want to be, like, very serious in the music you listen to. Like, not everybody is going to be into the narrative of the alien in search of the perfect cup of coffee. I guess. I couldn't imagine a person who wouldn't find the humor in that, but I digress. So I make my recommendations, okay? And some other people, yeah, proggy harmonic sludge. What is not to love there, man? Like, come on. But anyway, some other people make their recommendations as well. And then this person, like, comes back, they make a comment on their own post saying, like, yeah, I'm not really into, like, thrash or prog at all. I'm more interested in, quote, the more demented side of metal. And I'm just like, cool. We're not gonna... Our metal tastes are oil and water here. I'm out. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I recommended these bands to you. I'm gone. Did I ever get into Crowbar? Like the Crowbar in Half-Life? I've never heard of the band Crowbar. But yeah, let's download this tier list. I'm assuming this will work properly. But let's download this tier list. It's loading. Once it downloads... Okay, did it. Chart, PNG. Ah! Fire Alpaca, because it's a PNG. Alright, here it is. The definitive list. Zooming right in on Carly Rae Jepsen. The definitive list. Into the eye of the Sasquatch. There we go. There we go, that's better. The definitive tier list, album ranking list of Rancid Nanners. Here it is. In all of its PNG glory. I keep zooming the wrong direction. I will be posting this on social media as a posterity post for the stream. Get this fucking... Oh, it's my TF2 background. Oh my god. Bye-bye, skeletons. Crowbar are like super early sludge, like biker sludge. Their earliest band you've heard to have modern metal breakdowns. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, as like a bit of a sludge head, which is like sludge is one of those genres where like I don't know what makes metal, like sludge metal, sludge, but whenever I hear it, I like it. So like the band Isis. Panopticon was one that I was like considering putting on the top, but I just haven't been listening to it lately, so it wasn't like I wasn't feeling as passionate about it. But I definitely really like that album, Panopticon by Isis. I believe Isis is named after the Egyptian god, not the terrorist organization. It's like I've told people like about the band ISIS a couple times before, and they're just like, what? And I'm just like, it's not. It. Why would it? It's not about that. Like, what the fuck? All right, all right. So that was music. That was music. Dark, the dark. It's always darkest before the soul. And I got a BKS. There we go. That works. That works, right? Yeah, the fucking whatever. Dark Souls. We're playing Dark Souls 1 today. I guess it's Dark Souls remastered technically, but like fucking whatever. It's Dark Souls 1. We're playing Dark Souls. And I'm going to transmorph my locale here. I should also probably close this Steam tab. We're going fucking Transformers mode right now. Let me see fucking Streamlabs, please. Thank you. Hi-ya. 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 I'm making fucking noises. Right. We play video games here. We don't just blabber about music for 2 hours. I'm honestly, I'm like astounded that it took me that long, but like in a good way. Like, it's not like, oh, it took me that long, but I was able to, like, go that long. So, instead of just hitting continue, I just want... Okay. Okay. What? Oh my god. What the hell is Freaker? Oh my lord. Like, okay, normally I just make a bunch of pretty ladies, honestly. But I give them the fucking dumbest names imaginable. I don't know what I was doing with Freaker. Oh, this is just Frank. But I spelled Frank. I think that was the streamed playthrough I did. The full playthrough I did on stream. That was Frank. But we're playing Freendara, which I think was a bit of a key mash, honestly. Freaker Eyes. Yeah. These names are amazing. Thank you, Sheep. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like, I have... Like, a lot of them are still stupid names for, like, my Elden Ring characters. Like, fucking Slippy Smagdag is my poison build. But, like, Dark Souls just evokes something. Naming a character is the hardest part of these games for you, to the point where you just go with nothing because an empty space works for some reason. I mean, you are, like, a vassal of sorts, in a way. Or at least you could be in these games. Alright, these guys... Oh, fuck! These guys. Get off me. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna hit them with my sword a little bit. A little bit of sword hitting. Yeah, this thing does so much fucking damage, it's stupid. I did upgrade it once? Yeah, it's a +1. And, our AR is, like, 345 with, like, bad stats. Like, this thing is fucking nuts. And then I fight a demon with it, and then they just melt. It's ridiculous. Okay. I don't think that I should keep going that way. I think that kills me. Fucking hell. Alright, this way? I kind of remember Blight Town. Why is a dog on this bridge? Okay. It looked for a second like it fucking survived that fall. Oh my god, I hate that bridge so much. God, if you have a fear of heights, that bridge is like absolute hell. You just Black Knight weapon R2s in general? Yeah, I don't like the two-handed one very much because it's so slow and then has that flourish at the end. But the one-handed one, I can work with that one a little bit more. I like a big stab. I mean, I like the effect they have on the enemies for sure. It's just really hard to time something that has like such a wind-up. Basically, I'm bad, is the problem. Humanity. I mean, yeah, like all the Black Knight, like I want the halberd. That's my favorite. The Black Knight halberd fucking rules. That one, I'll be pressing R2 on the Black Knight halberd. You love the flourishes a lot. It looks so epic. I mean, yeah, like it is cool, but when the flourishes get me killed, I don't appreciate them as much. Where the fuck? I hate this part of Blighttown so much. There were so many playthroughs that I mean, I might have even taken the Master Key on this character, but I just didn't go that way. Because I go that way, like, all the fucking time. The Katana R1s have cool flourishes as well. Yeah, I feel like they're a lot faster. Like, as someone who has pressed R1 with the Katana quite a bit in these games, I think the Katanas are a lot faster, and that's why I can, like, deal with it. And I just like fast weapons, because, like, I press button, and I want attack, you know? I just want to, like, attack the guy. And when I got, like, this wind-up I gotta work with, like, I'm not just attacking them. That's where the red mana really rears its ugly head. Oh, please don't toxic me, bro. Oh, shit. Didn't realize my stamina ass was out. Okay, I'm getting toxic. I'm gonna fucking become toxic. I'm sure there is a mod for this game where when you get toxic, it just plays like that little like melody from the Britney Spears song. There's gotta be a mod out there for that. Yeah, it's a lot snappier for the katana. Yeah. I mean, I would hope so. Keep my fucking dex weapon snappy. Oh, don't jump me. Okay. Yeah, you know what? Maybe the two-handed strong attack ain't bad. What are you? Ow! It does that? What the hell? Okay, like I knew it did the stab with the leg. That second attack, I do not recall. I think I was usually just too scared of getting close to it. There's not a mod for the fucking Britney Spears thing? What the fuck? What the hell hit me? What the fuck? Video game? You motherfucker. Oh my god. Alright. Kick says BRB though. Yeah, you RB. You right bumper for me. Be a right bumper. That's what that means, right? Anyway. Oh, my lord. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what the hell just happened there. I think a young man from beneath me actually like pushed me. Okay, please just die. Please die. Please die. Please. Oh no, no. I think I have like 5k souls in my pile that I don't want to lose. Oh, the jukes! Oh my god. I almost rolled off. Okay, no backstab. That's fine. I'm toxic. I'm not fine with that. Okay, let me just like... Oh, it's all about the jumping strongs though. That is something that I did learn with one of my more recent playthroughs of this game. Because I'm not one to use like big weapons a lot of the time. I think Freaker might have been my big weapons guy that I played. I think it was him. Ah, shit. Camera. Okay, let's just pray here. Nope. I heard the men. I wanted to hit the men. I'm like a hitman. Because I hit mans. Alright. Fucking... But yeah, there's someone that I did like a... Like, de facto, like, strength build. Which I very seldom do in these games. And, I think I even went Faith. And got the fucking, what you call it? The big smacking stick. The big man weapon. I'm just gonna go this way. Oh no. This isn't fucking Dark Souls 3. When you run past enemies, it's a problem. Okay. I'm just gonna keep running. Just gonna keep running. Okay. I did not defeat the Bungaloid, and we still got these freaks! Okay, yeah, no, it's easy. This game's easy. This is actually an easy game. Bruh. It looks like the enemies are having more trouble with the verticality of this level than I am. I slid off the edge earlier. I mean, the fucking dog just, like, backstepped off. Right. Yeah, it doesn't... I don't think I hit it, even. Also, I think one of the fucking dark guys just... Ow. I think one of the dark guys fell off and died. Because I got a moss clump for nothing. And, like if the big guys, the like orc-looking dudes with the clubs, you know, the big dudes. They're just the Blighttown big dudes. I don't remember their proper name. Because, like, yeah, they have, like, actual, like, drops. And since they, like, respawn... Okay. Dogs. I got combo dogged. It's fine. One of them always falls off or is spawned off the map because... Oh, okay. Alright, it's been a while. Well, fucking whatever dark guy died like that, they had it coming. Also, I don't remember what item is up there. Is that where the Aito is? I know I specifically didn't try to make the jump for the Aito, because, like, I don't need it. I'm not doing a Dex playthrough for goddamn once, I swear. So I didn't pick it up. I don't need it. I don't need it. Sometimes, I don't need it. Hell, I don't even fucking... When I do a Dex playthrough, like, I've used it before. But I don't usually even use the Aito, it's just cool. Oh, well, it wasn't that dark guy. Yeah, I think maybe it is just that they fucking spawn in a weird spot. At least if you come from this direction. Like, I think if you come from the Master Key side, that doesn't happen. Because, like, half of my playthroughs, I want to say, I just try to skip Blighttown because it sucks. But a lot of those playthroughs were also, like, playing the original version of the game, where Blighttown ran, like, donkey dick ass. And I just threw the donkey part on there because it was, like, extra snappy. Okay, that does not any damage. Can I fucking... There is a man attacking me. Oh, he just fell off. Okay. Can I like... Oh, don't hit me. Okay, don't... Oh, the WAP attack. It's got, like, 2 suckers and, like, the rest are pointy? What are you? It happens when you go backwards to this area as well? Oh, okay. I guess I just don't remember it. I guess I just don't remember that. That's okay. It's not exactly... Like, I feel like that probably just happens every time, and then I'm just like, yeah. You know, I deserve a purple moss clump. What do you mean? I'm just supposed to get one. Okay. Jumping strong attack. Jumping strong attack. Guys, remember when there was a jump button in fucking Elden Ring? That is definitely, like, one of the single most, like, strange things about, like, returning to Dark Souls after playing a lot of Elden Ring. Is just getting used to no actual jump button. Oh, fucking Graboid. Get off me. Dude, I'm getting grabbed by the graboids. Okay, just spam R1. Just spam R1. There we go. Remember when you could kick without a useless weapon art? You mean like that? Yeah. Honestly, I kind of feel you on that one. Okay. The big man? Can I? How do I like? How do I bait it? Oh fuck. Yeah, I'm dead. It's so weird. What the hell? I think I hit the guy. Do they attack each other? Can I fucking orchestrate that? I should probably... I'm pretty sure you're supposed to go in the, like, tunnel thing, right? And then hit it from the other side. Because I think I didn't, like, drop down to, the spot where you're supposed to do that. Also, am I going the right way? Yes. God. Like, this is also part of why I'm like, you know what? I am gonna, like, commit to going this way. Am I dead? Yes. Shit. But yeah, committing to going this way because of how often I just don't. You know? Just how many times I've, like, skipped over this. Apparently so many people constantly kick and they're not trying to. You don't see it. Okay. Apparently so many people kick. Fuck. I can't fucking read. I'm trying. Apparently so many people constantly kick when they're not trying to, and I don't see it. You don't see it. Maybe. Sure, maybe you do it in a handful of times throughout the playthrough. But it's not super constantly that it actually ruins the experience. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. I mean, like, I definitely do it by accident sometimes. But, like, I know people who do it, like, all the time. And it's definitely just, like, it's just how you press the buttons, you know? Like, if you are, like, I'm usually holding forward. But because I'm holding forward, it doesn't, like, trigger a kick. Like, I was just holding forward there. It didn't trigger the kick. But if you just want to, like, move forward, but also attack, like, you're just kind of getting spaghetti in your brains, you know? Like, that's all it is. And that's just, like, a fault of the player's inputs. I kind of wish that more weapons in Elden Ring still had the kick for that, because there is a forward R1 move for all the weapons. They still have that in their moveset, but it's all just like conferred to like flourishes and like other bullshit. But I definitely think some weapons should still have an actual kick, because the kick's just really useful. You know what? Fuck you. Oh. Eh. Okay, I'm just gonna R1. Oh, I got both of them. Okay. Alright. Alright. Strong attack. Hiya! Okay. But yeah, I don't know, like, did they confer, like, kick to a weapon art because they felt like it was a common thing that players accidentally kicked? Because I think that would be a silly decision on their part. It's a bit of a silly decision. Also, I'm like getting fucking part of Blighttown mixed up, dog. Oh no. Oh, okay. Oh, whip. Awesome. I needed that. It's important for my Belmont builds. Which I did do. I did a Castlevania challenge build, like, eons ago. Like, on the original version of the game. Boy, that's a fucking tough one. Whip only in Dark Souls 1? My god. I don't recommend it. And also at the time, no shield felt like more of a detriment, but people just be like parrying these days, you know. Not sure if it was confirmed or not, but that's your guess. You used to do a lot of PvP, not so much anymore. We got the kick muscle memory down to a science at this point. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, whenever I did PvP, it was like, I don't know. The way that this game handles PvP, it's kind of more conducive to like being a bunch of pranksters. But that's definitely when I had the most fun with it. It was like when I had like a group of friends, and we were all just being a bunch of motherfuckers and like throwing dung pies at people and whipping people. That was another whip build. I distinctly remember like when I did like an Undead Burg like gank squad with my friends. We just all had the nothing but the boar helm and whips and dung pies. And we were on Skype. This is how far back it was. We were talking on Skype, dude. And somebody would like come in and we'd be like waiting by like where you would spawn in. I think it was, yeah, we were baiting phantoms into our world was the whole thing. So we would wait by where like a phantom would spawn in, and we would just surround them and start whipping and throwing poo. And good old Brendan would just yell poopy time and you know, start slinging our shit at them. Your messages weren't going through. Oh no! I'm sorry, Kix. Yeah, for sure. DS1 is goofy with PvP, but in the absolute best way possible. Yeah, I think so. Because there's, like, less, like, just hard, like, griefing items than there were in, like, Demon Souls. And it's still, like, the true Souls kind of PvP. I definitely think that, like, an element is lost in Elden Ring's PvP. But I think a lot of it is because, like, there's so much, like, for people... I have to imagine it's not the same exact people that want balanced PvP, that also want true Souls PvP, because, like, when you're being, like, a sneaky bastard and trying to, like, pull one over someone, like, fair PvP isn't really what we're talking about here. DS2 has the most balanced PvP? Does it? I'll take your word for it. I don't think I did that much PvP. I think, as far as, like, Phantoms PvP goes, Dark Souls 3 was probably the most interesting, because, like, purple Phantoms and shit, like, you could have just crazy shit going on with, like, 5 dudes. Or I think 4 might have been the max in DS2, or DS3, rather. Dragon Scale, okay. But yeah, there's like a lot of room for antics in 3 still. But 2, I don't feel like I remember doing a whole lot of PvP. I did a lot of co-op. Did a lot of co-op in Dark Souls 2. DS2 was the fairest. Dark Souls 1 was the funniest. But it was not fair at all. Yeah. Yeah, I would generally agree with that, I think. Alright, let's go ahead. Let's just use a twin. Fuck it. We kindle bonfires here. I don't give a fuck. I don't even know if I need 10, but, like, whatever. Reverse hollowing. And then kindle. I mean, I mostly want to fight Maneater Mildred here. Oh, there's an ad coming up. Shit. Alright. Well. Kindle the fire. Kindle that fire, baby. What the fuck? Oh! Oh no, my leg is not okay. Dude, that is not... What are you doing? Freedom Dora? What are you trying to fucking warm with? Oh my god. My pussy's cold. Alright. Alright. Oh, ad starting soon. I thought the ad just fucking added. I wanna make sure that the people can see me fight the guy. What the hell? Yoga? Yeah, I guess I'm just doing some yoga flame, dude. I'm fucking Dalsum. Roasting your tootsies like marshmallows. Yeah, man. Gotta get that fucking, like, crispy outer skin, and then just slide that off your toe. Just slide that crispy skin off your toe, like a marshmallow. Alright, Dark Spirit, Maneater, Mildred has invaded. Okay, there they are. I'm just gonna... Yeah. Alright, they're coming at me. Oh! Oh, just like PvP. 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 Does she have really high fire resistance or something? What the hell? Oh, I wanted to kill the mosquito. And the corpse is freaking out. Oh my god. Okay. Real? I'm gonna heal. This fucking mosquito, dude. It's fucking me up. Okay, there it goes. Alright. Man, Mary Mildred looking like a chaos demon with the damage I was dealing to her, though. With, like, not fire. I've done it. I think I have oh, I definitely have enough for a level. Should probably cash that in. I also probably could have waited to Kindle. I forgot about getting the humanity from them. Of course, the sack was like all the fire resistance. Yeah, what the hell? Alright, probably strength. That make number go up. That make number go up big time. But I have a tendency to underlevel vitality, so I should probably get that up a little bit too. Right? Yeah. And I just want to I want to defeat Quelaag. Popular YouTuber and streamer Quelaag is gonna be defeated. I stole that joke from goddamn Deep It's the stream. It happens. Alright. Okay. Yeah. I'm just gonna go right for Quelaag. We have a Black Knight sword, so they're kind of fucked, honestly. A little bit. Monkey brain number go up. I mean, honestly though, like, I fucking leveled the shit out of my damage stats, dude. Like, for real. I'm just like, you know, I could get more health. Like, I'll be at endgame in Elden Ring with 35 vigor, and I'm just like, yeah, but if I go to 80 dex, it still gives me more damage, so I think we're gonna level dex. Oh, I'm fucking crazed. Alright. I think I'm also gonna go ahead and beat one of these, and do one of these. And we're gonna summon Maneater Mildred for fun. I don't think we need her help, but I'm in human form, and NPCs are kind of dumbasses anyway, so it's fine. I think summoning NPCs is, like, who gives a shit? They're honestly, they make the fucking boss have more health, dude. It just makes it actually makes it harder. We gotta watch this cutscene too. Let me tell you what, I don't have like a thing for spider girls, but like, you know, I would. I mean, like, who wouldn't, right? She can help as a treat. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Quelaag, fucking classic boss. I'm a fan. You could say I'm a fan. In Magic the Gathering terms, I like her art. Okay, that's not a ridiculous amount of damage, but it's still a fucking lot. You know, okay, maybe it's a little ridiculous. I don't know. But also, my first playthrough, I like just started dabbling in sorceries when I like got to the depths and shit. So I was like, for real, leveling intelligence right before I fought Quelaag. And I was just like, yo, what the fuck? Why is this boss so easy? I just dealt a lot of fucking damage. Oh my god. I was just in the good spot like the whole ass time. Let's do a strong attack. I don't think Maneater Mildred did anything, actually. Yeah, good job. You got her. You got her with that hit. Good one. Thanks. I don't have a thing for spider girls, but just remove the entire bottom half. I mean, I'm saying, like, you know, I can deal. I can deal with it. I don't mind. I'm not, like, into that part of it, but, you know, it's fine. You know, if that's what's going on. I don't judge. Oh, damn, she already dead? Yeah, fucking Black Knight Sword, I fucking guess. Yeah, for real. Like, I had a feeling that was gonna happen, but I also was just in the perfect position the whole time, and, like, the chunks were... They were some chunks. They were chunks for sure. I think the Black Knight Sword is a little busted. I think it's a little bit fucked up. Maybe quelaag has great personality, we'd never know. I bet she does! I bet she totally does. I bet quelaag is fucking cool as hell, and she'd be great to hang out with, especially if you're into pyromancy, and you could just talk about Izalith lore and fucking demons and shit and fire, and it'd be cool, and you just hang out and just be fucking pals, and it doesn't have to be weird or anything. But also, like, I mean, talk about Izalith and quelaag. You know, I gotta give my dues, gotta give my shouts out to the lore, the OG lore YouTuber quelaag, though, for real. Because way back, and that's something I was thinking about too. Because like Deepits was saying, like, oh, they didn't look up anything when they were playing Dark Souls. I barely had anything to look up because people are still working on the wiki. And so for me, it was like I would try to go look a thing or two up on the wiki. It ain't fucking there. And so there was like a group chat that was like attached to the wiki. And I would just go into the group chat and talk to people in there. And that's how I figured out a lot of stuff. It was just asking people kind of more directly. But also, when it came to lore, there was nobody. Like, before Vati Vidya, there was quelaag on a fucking laptop, and there was Epic Name Bro, kind of. I feel like EMB was a little more on, like, the game development side. Like, he still talked about lore. Like, he had his, like, lore playthroughs. But, like, fucking ain't nobody else talking about the demon ruins and, like, the Izalith culture and shit. Like, that's how I found YouTuber quelaag. Oh, there's... Oh, fuck, I didn't... It's a good thing I walked back, huh? And also didn't die. Fucking Mildred's stuff is still on the floor over there. Very caring spider lady. Maybe yeah. She do be looking after her sick sister? Yeah, I think quelaag is, like, actually a great person. Deep down, deep in her soul. And that's part of why it's so tragic that we just fucking dumpstered her like that. More endurance? More strength. More endurance? Strength. Strength make number go up, but number already very big. I think more endurance. Because more endurance gives us fashion options, which... We're at 75.6, so I think I can go to 19 now? Can I go to 19? I want to switch it up a little bit. I want, like, black leather. Can we do that? 18.2? Oh, that's barely heavier. Okay. We can do black leather gloves. Oh, we got the Wanderer coat, though. Ooh. Ooh, that's... Ooh. Ooh. I love the Wanderer coat, especially as a lady, because we got the fucking, like, fur and feather trim, dude. Okay, that's a slow roll. Do we do it with the tattered hood, though, also? Or the Wanderer hood? Tattered hood's lighter. Tattered hood, I think we can bring this back down to the cloth. 18.8, I think that might be good. Yeah, we're fast rolling. Hell yeah. Yeah, that Wanderer, oh, I love it so much. Wanderer gear. You didn't have internet when you first played Dark Souls 1? I didn't either, unless I went to my friend's house who had Wi-Fi, but, you know. And this massive empty book, you wrote everything. Items, dialogue. Oh, I didn't have, I guess I had access to the internet, so I could, like, talk to people. I wasn't connected to the internet most of the time, is what I meant, but okay. This massive empty book, you wrote everything in. Items, dialogue, your own theories for which, at the time, was fairly correct for what you had down. And some other, but the book is lost to time. Aw, man. That would be so cool to find that as, like, a keepsake. Like, if I kept notes like that, too. That would be so fucking awesome to still have. I think the biggest help for you in understanding the demon ruins in Izalith was a video Sinclair Lore did with Loki. Oh yeah, that sucks sheep. Yeah. I mean, now there's like plenty of resources. There's like tons of people, and like with Elden Ring, there's like even more lore heads that like started throwing their hat in the ring. Which, like, I mean, that's fine. More eyes, more people like deciphering the lore. You know, that's just gonna more perspectives. You know. I think I lost it in a move at one point. I mean, yeah, that's... I know I had a notebook with, like, a bunch of songs I wrote in high school that I was trying to dig for, and I think that also got lost in the move when I moved out of my parents' place. Alright. Okay. It's after midnight. I want to play more Dark Souls, but I have to pee. I also need food, so I think I'm gonna call it here, actually. I was gonna say it's a bit of a short stream, but it definitely wasn't. This is like normal length. The game part was a lot shorter than anticipated, but that's fine. I'll be back tomorrow night, same time, 9 p.m. Central Stateside time. Thanks for the stream. Thank you for coming by, Kix. Thank you everybody else who was watching. Glad to have a lot of people in chat when I was going over my music, though. I hope people got some music recommendations out of that. People kind of get a lens into my taste in music as well. My glasses keep falling apart, but that's okay. Okay. Oh. All right, let's see if there's anybody to raid before I like get on out of here. Just like big guys, just a bunch of big guys. So I gotta pee really bad. So I'm just gonna be closing up shop here. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you anybody who had subscribed. I saw some people with their with the doot emotes in chat, so fucking hell yeah to anybody who subscribed for emotes. I'm doing a bit of a pee dance right now, if you can't tell. What else am I forgetting? I don't know. All you guys are awesome. Thank you for watching. You're all epic. I'm Rancid Nanners, otherwise known as Rancid, otherwise known as Nate, and if Pink Floyd was still alive, I bet he'd like Mega 64. Alright. I'll see y'all tomorrow night, Saturday night, 9 p.m. Central Time. Keep skeletal.